to admit to my mistakes. Stop cutting you down and step up to the plate. There's a lot of things I should do, but it's easier to blame you. It's just easier to blame you.
Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3. This is the pregame show.
Presented by Micro-Age Computer and Telecom, your trusted business technology partner.
Good early evening. I'm Brad Karp. Welcome to Shell Place, joined by Ben Madigan for this game this evening between the Fort McMurray Giants and the Weyburn Beavers. Ben, it's Canada Day. The Giants sporting their special Canada Day uniforms. It's red and gray and white camo. And if I know anything about Dutch Ionetti, it's that camo is his favorite pattern.
Yeah, it is. But, I mean, those are some nice-looking jerseys, Brad. Nice to see them showing some love for Canada. Happy Canada Day to everyone listening in. I wouldn't mind getting myself one of those jerseys.
I'm sure you can spend some of your big bucks and buy one after the game. Of course, the Giants 7-5 winners over Moose Jaw Miller Express yesterday. Great game, a comeback win. They were down 5-1 at the top of the third, and they slowly chipped away at that lead, scoring a run in 5 straight innings, including 2 in the 5th to come up on top 7-5. A great game for Hector Benitez, who scored 2 runs last night. A great game for Max Hewitt defensively. Tyler Hodder, after struggling in the second, was absolutely lights out on the mound. And today we get to see one of the Giants' aces in Tyler Moskaluk, who will be taking the mound for Fort McMurray tonight. And for the Weyburn Beavers, it's Winnipeg, Manitoba boy Ryan Johnson. And these are two teams that are fairly evenly matched. The Giants have been playing really good ball over the last 13 games. They're 7-6. Weyburn sitting in third place in the Eastern Division, currently with a record of 12-11. So I'm expecting a tight game, and I'm fairly sure the Giants will be pretty pumped up to playing at home on Canada Day.
It should be a pretty exciting game, Brad, for 2 reasons I'm looking at. One, as you mentioned, a great come-from-behind victory for the Giants last night. A nice home game at Shell Place on Canada Day. They should be riding a big wave of momentum coming into this game. On the flip side of things, Weyburn, they are on a 4-game skid right now. So you know they definitely want to try and right the ship, come in here, get a big win on Canada Day, and continue their road trip on the right foot. So both teams looking for a big win for very different reasons here, and that should produce some really good baseball.
2 things to note: if you are available to and you're listening to us via our web stream, like many of the Giants' players' parents do, you can actually watch this game. It's being live streamed on YouTube. Head to the Country 93.3 Facebook page. I posted the link there. And on top of that, if you're listening, you're looking for something to do today, hey, come on down to the ballpark or just come down to Mac Island. There are so many things going on here today, Ben.
Yeah.
Face painting, kids' activities. There's a music main stage going on later tonight. Mike Jones is hosting a little bit of a local talent competition with some of the local acts that starts up at 5, or started half an hour ago, And then later tonight, some of the great local bands, including Craig Moritz, is closing us off at 11 tonight. I'm excited to see Craig. He looks great in a tight pair of jeans, Ben. I don't know if you know that about Craig Moritz, but he's a good-looking man.
I don't, but I'll take your word on it.
And, of course, fireworks tonight. Who doesn't love a good set of Canada Day fireworks? I expect they'll be fantastic for Canada 150. We will take a pause, roll in your coaches' interviews on Northland Construction Supplies. Fort McMurray Giants baseball, 20 years serving Fort McMurray. And this is the Micro-Age Computer and Telecom pregame show, your trusted business technology partner.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3 in partnership with Birchwood Auto Body. Our business happens by accident.
That is a great-looking body you've got there.
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry. That came out completely wrong. I mean your car, the bodywork, it looks amazing. What's your secret?
Oh, yeah, right. Birchwood Auto Body.
Birchwood Auto Body is a full-service body shop, including 2 downdraft paint booths. They can look after your insurance claim and offer additional products like box liners, detailing, tires, and rim replacement. Get a free estimate at Birchwood Auto Body. Our business happens by accident. 133 Mackenzie Street.
In your line of business, every minute counts. Downtime on your network means losing out on a client or valuable revenue. Keep your company running at peak performance without interruption. MicroAge Computer and Telecom has a variety of preventable maintenance programs for your computer, network, and business phone systems. And have peace of mind in the event of a failure. MicroAge's backup and disaster recovery programs are designed to get you back up and running. Call MicroAge today, 780-790-6666.
Northland Construction Supplies Fort McMurray Giants Baseball is a Country 93.3 presentation. Now it's time to speak with the coaching staff of the Fort McMurray Giants.
You're listening to Giants Baseball on Country 93.3. I'm Ben Madigan, joined now by head coach of your Fort McMurray Giants, Pat Riley. Pat, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You have Weyburn in town tonight. They're a pretty good team right now. Just kind of talk about the matchup, how you're looking at it, and maybe, any weaknesses you hope to exploit tonight.
They pitch the ball pretty well. They've got pretty good depth, so I'm sure the arms they roll out are going to be pretty solid. So we just got to make sure that we kind of, have good at-bats, manufacture some runs, and hopefully get to that bullpen. But, they're going to be excited to be here, obviously being Canada today, and it's going to be a good contest. So.
It was a very, very big win for your club last night, a 7-5 comeback victory over Moose Jaw. Talk about the momentum that gives your guys coming into this game today on Canada Day, a really big pump-up game for you.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a good crowd for us. A lot of excitement. Obviously, it's a good holiday. It's my first Canada Day, being from the States, and I'm really looking forward to being a part of it here in Fort Mac, and I'm sure the guys are going to be very excited and amped up to go.
Your team over the last 13, you've been 7-6. The bats have been coming alive pretty well. Has there been any adjustments the team's been making, or are they just finally now starting to get into that groove?
We're doing a better job of swinging to our pitches and kind of taking the walks is something that we've kind of struggled with, reaching for pitches that are out of the zone and kind of helping the pitchers out. And we've kind of been doing a better job with adjustments and just kind of looking for our pitch. And we've getting more guys on base. We just got to continue to get them in when you have the opportunities.
You talked about batting at your pitches. That's something that we've definitely noticed over the last couple games, that the team has struggled with down the stretch. What improvements have you seen in that regard?
We're doing a little bit better job with 2 outs. In the inning, we're getting 2 outs and we're still getting guys across. It's really just, it's a lot of baseball and guys get hot and they get cold, and it's about staying, as consistent as you can and continue to get your reps in and do your early work and trust the process. And a lot of guys are doing that, and we've had some success as of late, and hopefully that'll continue.
Pat, thanks a lot for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
That was head coach of your Fort McMurray Giants, Pat Riley. We always appreciate him coming out and giving us some time. Let's go Giants.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3, live from Shell Place in the Willys Tire broadcast booth.
For nearly 20 years, Northland Construction Supplies has been Fort McMurray's source for everything concrete. They have the products, the tools, and the expertise to guide you through any of your concrete.
Benitez, followed by Jordan Stickler, and then Max Hewitt. And Ben, I know you have seen a couple of Giants games so far this year, but Max Hewitt has been just an absolute vacuum at shortstop.
Yeah,
he is incredible.
I mean, not even just his defensive play, Brad. He's been hot at the plate as well. This guy's the complete package and a very, very important part to this Giants team.
And he's fun to watch. He's worth the price of admission alone.
Very fun to watch. He made a couple great snags in between first and second base in the last game that I was at that really, really kept his team in the game.
Hector Benitez was unreal yesterday. He scored 5 runs in the 2-game series against Moose Jaw, 5 of the 9 that the Giants scored over that 2-game set. He led things off with a double, an aggressive base-running double for him. He stretched out what would have been a single for most people, came home to score. That was the opening run of the game. He'd add 2 more in that game, and along with a sac fly. He's an all-around player, great defensively, too.
The one thing I've really noticed about Benitez when he's at the plate, Brad, is he's methodical. He only swings at the pitches he likes. He'll take, a ball, he'll take a strikeout if it's not really quite there, but he only swings at the pitches that he likes, which is something that this team, the Giants, have really struggled with in the early part of the season, but they've gotten a lot better on as the season's progressed.
He's a patient boy at that plate, and he's pretty good at working pitches, too, working them off the bat, keeping the at-bat alive by fouling balls away. Ones that he doesn't like that he knows, there's a good chance it's called a strike, and that's important. Here we see Ryan Johnson, a big hard-throwing lefty. He has been absolutely incredible for Weyburn in just the one appearance. He's supposed to be one of their top pitchers, just joined the team. 6 innings in 1 outing. He's a record of 1-0. Allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 1 of them earned. Walking 3 batters, striking out 6. There's an ERA of just 1.5, and opponents batting only 105 against him. So the Giants batsmen in a bit tough against the Weyburn Beavers starting pitcher tonight.
The one thing that head coach Phil Curtis said about Johnson tonight, Brad, was he's a competitor. He goes out there and he competes hard, so you got to figure that if he runs into any kind of trouble out there, that should only spur him to do better. As you say, the Giants, they really have to pay attention while they're at bat tonight.
Back-to-back nights, the Giants face Southpaws to start the game. And in steps Hector Benitez. No score, bottom of the first. First pitch is a ball up high. That ball fouled off, hits the mesh in behind home plate. 1-1 count to Benitez. Just a single hit on the board in this game. It belongs to Weyburn, and that was the leadoff batter who was then picked off on a rundown. Another foul ball. That one heading straight towards the seats. Caught the upper lip of the mesh here at Shell Place.
So far, as you said, Brad, Benitez doing a very good job of extending his count here with a couple foul balls, but now he's behind, really needs to make something happen.
Another one foul down the first base line. Benitez from Savannah, Georgia, 5'10", 170. It's lefty on lefty. He's a junior at Savannah State University. Count remains 1-2. This is the 5th pitch of this at-bat. It's always nice when your leadoff guy can work a big count against the starting pitcher. And there's a strikeout call. Painting the corner, a great pitch by Ryan Johnson. And you see Benitez telling his teammates a couple of tips and tricks from what he saw in the opening at-bat of this game. That's always very important, the sharing of information between teammates. Each pitcher a little bit different, their delivery different, the mechanics, the release point of the ball, the spin on it changes from pitcher to pitcher, and these guys at this level are able to pick up on that, and they know how to adjust their swing and their stance to capitalize on it.
Especially when you have a guy like Johnson, Brad, who's only played 1 game so far. You don't have a whole lot of tape on him. You don't have a whole lot of information. So anything you can pick up, especially early on in the game, definitely going to help your team moving forward.
Jordan Stickler takes a first pitch strike, 1 away, bottom of the first, no score. Shows bunt, pulls away, that one a ball. And that's one thing the Giants did really well yesterday. They laid down a few really nice bunts, and they were able to leg them out. Advance runners get on base safe, and that's something they struggled to do last season. They had a number of guys who love to just pound the snot out of the ball, but in this game, it doesn't always work. Sometimes you have to play finesse ball.
And that's it exactly, Brad. Every once in a while, you need to lay down that bunt, advance the base runners, approach the game a little more strategically than just swing for the fences.
But when I'm playing video games, I'm only swinging for the fences.
Oh, 100%.
Stickler shows bunt again off the tip of his bat, 2-2 count. He was halfway to first base.
Just like when I'm playing Madden, Brad, it's Hail Mary or it's nothing.
There's some concern that the skies would open up for this game, Ben, but there was a bit of rain just before both teams went out for BP. Things have cleared up. Cloud cover now. Humidity starting to break. It's a beautiful night for baseball in Fort McMurray.
It really is, Brad. I mean, obviously you'd like maybe a little bit more sunlight, but it's a very comfortable temperature outside right now. We have a great turnout here at Shell Place. More people filing in. Still plenty of seats available if you want to make your way down.
Full count to Stickler. And he gets the strikeouts. Caught looking. Stickler tossed his bat back. He started taking the first step over to first, and the home plate umpires do not like that. So they don't like it when you assume that you're getting the call.
Well, so far, that's 2 strikeouts for Johnson, Brad.
He's been painting the corners really well. Max Hewitt, the shortstop. And if he can get on base, he'll be followed by Keegan Marsden, batting cleanup and playing third. Hewitt skies one. That one is just next to first base, and the first baseman, Nygaard, does get under it. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Ryan Johnson. So both teams great defensively, having a bit of tough time on the sticks, and we'll head to the top of the second inning with no score.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3 in partnership with Birchwood Auto Body. Our business happens by accident.
With only a few laps left, Jim Johnson in the lead, but he still has to pick up groceries with the kids, and he's desperately in need of an oil change.
Times like this, y'all need the brand new Canadian Tire Castrol Express Lube.
He's pulling in right now with no appointment, warranty approved, and look at Canadian Tire Castrol Express Lube go.
That is Castrol oil right there.
And Jim Johnson's right back in the race. His kids are buckled in, and he's driving at exactly the speed limit like the responsible father he is.
That's teaching by example.
Canadian Tire Castrol Express Lube, now open on Hospital Street.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3 in partnership with Birchwood Auto Body. Our business happens by accident.
Welcome back to Shell Place. It's a scoreless ball game through an inning of work for both pitchers, Ryan Johnson and Tyler Moskalek, both doing some good handiwork on the mound. And leading off the inning for the Beavers will be the cleanup batter and first baseman Brady Nygaard. He's followed by Evan Widener, the shortstop, and Anthony Wiggins, who is playing in center field.
Both teams, as you said before the break there, Brad, playing very, very strong defensively. This is where you really want to see the Giants get out of this top of the inning, get back at bat, and really start to open up those bats. They've been doing a much better job of generating hits down the last little stretch, and they need those bats to come alive tonight.
And they were successful at that yesterday. They were finally able to chip away at a lead, scoring runs in 5 straight innings. And in steps to the batter's box, Brady Nygaard.
It's interesting, Brad. That's been a struggle of the Giants recently, is getting behind early in the game. And while I was talking with head coach for the Beavers, Phil Curtis, he said that's been their struggle in this 4-game losing streak they're on, is getting too far behind early in the game and just not being able to come back.
It's a 1-1 count to Nygaard. Second pitch, a fastball, strike inside. One-two count to the Beavers' first baseman. Ball low and away. And what better team name to play than the Beavers on Canada Day?
I was thinking that earlier, Brad. I mean, if that doesn't speak to being Canadian, I don't know what does.
Count even at deuces. Moskaluk waiting for a sign he likes from the catcher, Brendan Hallstrom. That ball is skied way up. It will remain infield just by the first base line. Under it is Ryan Villarreal. He will make the out. And that's a couple of pop-ups that have gone about 150 feet in the air.
Yep. Ball's getting up there tonight, that's for sure. Maybe the Giants can use that down the stretch, Brad, to maybe take a couple dingers.
Dingers, you say?
Dingers.
That's shorthand for home run?
Yeah.
Just making sure. Evan Widener, the shortstop, steps in. It's righty on righty. Nice strike delivered there by Moskaluk, a fastball just on the outside corner. And a lively crowd here at Shell Place. Lots of kids out today, obviously Canada Day. It was great to see so many people lining the streets of Franklin Avenue for the parade. It was a great job. Well done to all the organizers with the RMWB. Tons of, I think 60 floats this year.
It was
what I heard.
It was a massive float line, Brad, and it was a great turnout. I mean, it felt like the entire town was out there lining down Franklin Street. I was driving one of the floats, and there were a couple points where I'm like, you know what? Need everyone to back up a little bit because the crowds were really starting to impede on the road. But it was a great morning, and as you say, it was executed to perfection.
They were right on top of us, and it's always nice. Evan Widener pulling a grounder foul just down the third base line, so it's a 1-2 count. One away, top of the second, no score. And he smacks one above the gap over second base. That'll land in shallow center, picked up by Benitez, and Widener makes his way to first. Another line drive in between Hewitt and Corey Conklin.
It's only the second hit in the game so far, Brad. This defense has been very stifling for both teams so far.
Now we see Anthony Wiggins, the left fielder. Carlos Flores, the DH, in the on-deck circle.
Wiggins is batting in .264 through 19 games played, 6 runs batted in, no homers on the season so far.
Widener's on first. Wiggins takes a first pitch strike, looking at a fastball outside. 0-1 count. Moskaluk tries to pick off Widener at first. Unsuccessful, able to get back to the bag. Last time he did that, he caught Luis Jimenez in a rundown.
Yeah, it's something that good pitchers are always on top of, is to see where the base runner's at.
Make that a 1-1 count, ball outside. Take this opportunity to thank one of our great sponsors of Fort McMurray Giants baseball here on Country 93.3. Willie's Tire and Auto Center sponsoring our broadcast booth. They're keeping you cool this summer by offering air conditioning, pressure tests, and recharges for your vehicle. They're also the people to go see if you get a flat. Lots of those around McMurray so far this summer with all the construction going on in the rebuild. Taylor Pope has had 2 of them already. I had one earlier on. I think it was $54 to fix it, so fair price point. We'll see our friends at Willie's. There's a ball foul deep down the left field line by Anthony Wiggins. A 1-2 count to the center fielder. Another one cranked down the third base line foul. That one lands in the dirty pit in between the ball diamond and the football stadium.
Now, is that the official name, the dirty pit?
It's not so much a dirty pit as an empty space filled with dirt.
That sounds a little more wordy than dirty pit.
I have been known to exaggerate once or twice in my life. There's a foul ball. Comes off the backstop. One away, top of the second, 1-2 count to Anthony Wiggins, who's keeping his at-bat alive. Good job of staying in the batter's box. fending off a few pitches he didn't like. Tyler Moskaluk just looking to retire him with a runner on first. Another one fouled off the backstop. Every time you hear that pop, if you're listening, well, if you're hearing me talk, clearly you're listening. It's because our wild mic is just in the backstop behind home plate, and it makes our mic move up and down. So, bit of a baffling sound.
As you say, Brad, Wiggins is doing a great job right now of staying in the batter's box, and Moskaluk really needs to find a way to get him out here with 2 strikes.
And there's a shot ripped to shallow right. It'll fall just in front of Travis Turner, so Widener moves to seconds. Wiggins is on with a nice single and a great at-bat for him. Fought off a few pitches and finds one he likes, and then loops one to shallow right. And in steps the DH, Carlos Flores. Runners on first and second, 1 away. We're in the top of the second. 3 hits already for Weyburn in this game.
Flores is batting a .275 with 1 home run and 11 RBIs on the season. Brad, pretty obvious reason why he's hitting at DH right now.
Pretty good numbers. Off-speed pitch just inside. That's a ball.
He's currently third on his team in RBIs, so this is exactly one of the people you want at bat while you have a runner on second.
And Flores calls time. He's going to wipe some sweat off his brow, as will Giants catcher Brendan Hallstrom. It's a warm day. Sun's coming out. It's poking through the clouds now.
I was just going to say, Brad, that sun's made a reappearance, and when it's out from the clouds, it is hot.
Maybe I should take my shirt off and work on my tan.
Yeah, that might get us into some trouble, though.
Great fastball, low and away, delivered by Moskaluk. Evens things up at ones. One count, 1 away, top of the second. No score. There's a grounder hit to a diving Keegan Marsden, boots it off his glove. And holding up at third is Evan Widener. He may have had an opportunity to go, but he didn't know exactly how far Marsden was down the third base line while he was searching for that ball. So in comes Zach Frazier, the catcher. Bases juiced, 1 away. Not a desirable situation for the Giants.
I think that the base runner there probably could have made it home, Brad, but early in the game, you want to be conservative. You don't want to risk anything too much. As you say, you got the bases loaded. There's only 1 out. You have plenty of opportunity here to drive some runs in.
And Moskaluk is going to get a mound visit from Giants pitching coach Ian Sanderson. And he hasn't pitched poorly. It's been 1 or 2 well-hit balls. Grounder there that Marsden maybe should have had.
That's it exactly, Brad. I mean, the 2 hits before that, they were just in areas of the field that a defender's not going to make it to in time. There's really not a whole lot that Moskaluk can do on that one. Frazier now at the plate through 10 games, a .214 average with 1 home run and 5 RBIs. Perfect opportunity here to put his team ahead by maybe 1 or 2 runs.
Moskaluk's going to stay. There's no one warming up in the Giants bullpen, so more of a pep talk than anything else. As Zach Frazier, the catcher, steps in, and maybe a conversation about tactics and how you approach this batter. Where you want to locate your pitches. You're looking for something down low. You want a ground ball that could possibly end the inning with a double play.
Early in the game, Brad, as you said, none of the pitches Moskaluk has thrown so far have been bad. I mean, I would be shocked if they started warming someone up in the bullpen.
Grounder just off the hands of Fraser. Well, not technically off his hands, but the inside portion of the bat. Lots of red in the crowd today, obviously. It's Canada Day, celebrating Canada 150. And there are plenty of activities going on. If you're looking for some entertainment tonight, Mike Jones is hosting the Community Music Showcase right now, featuring a number of local artists who are up and coming, on their way up. And then later on tonight, starting at 8:30, the Music Main Stage will lead off, featuring the likes of Amy Heff, the Vanes, the Sissy Fits, and finally, one of the great men in country music here in Fort McMurray, Craig Moritz. And I'll be hosting that after this. It's a long day of work, but you know what? Can't complain.
Can't complain at all, Brad. Like you said, a night of great live music. The fireworks will be playing once the music has died down. It should be a nice, comfortable evening to be outside.
And most importantly, they've made adjustments to the beer garden this year, so
that is most important.
Doubled the capacity. My understanding is they've been open since about noon, and they just have tons of booze on stock, so that's always fun.
Yep.
I may or may not partake in one of those after my hosting duties are done. I will. At 11:02.
Well, it's Canada Day, Brad. You can't celebrate without a cold one, right?
150 years. I mean, I worked so hard for this country to survive this long in my 26 years on this God's green earth. 2-2 counts to the catcher, Zach Fraser. He fouls one off again in behind. I always love watching the reaction of the people who sit right behind home plate.
Yep.
There's the mesh there, and obviously every time a ball comes their way, they lean way back in their chair, put their hands up.
Last broadcast I did, Brad, there was a foul ball that was coming straight at me, if not for the meshing. And I will tell you, I jumped a couple inches in the air.
You jumped?
Oh, I jumped.
Why wouldn't you duck? Ducking seems more appropriate.
No.
Now a full count. Bases loaded to Zach Fraser, one away, top of two, no score. And Moskaluk is struggling in this at-bat.
I like to think I have pretty good reaction times, Brad. Maybe just not good reactions.
You moved quick enough, just you made the wrong movement.
Moved quick enough, but in the way of what you should have avoided.
And there it is, a strikeout by Tyler Moskaluk gets him swinging. And Fraser was swinging for the fences on that one with the bases juiced. So in comes Wade Weidenberger, the left fielder.
That's a huge boost of confidence there from Moskaluk, Brad, to get that strikeout, especially to get him swinging, proving that you got the stuff to beat him after loading the bases. That's got to feel good.
First pitch fouled off in behind.
Weinberger is tied for the team lead with 2 home runs. He's batting a .222, but Brad, he leads the team in strikeouts with 23 on the season, so this could be something to take advantage of here.
0-1 count to Weidenberger. Fouls another one off. 0-2, and Moskaluk is in the driver's seat. If you were listening to our game last night, we told the tale of Cruiser Girl Camille's dietary habits. She had a banana, an orange, and an apple. Now she's back in the goldfish. As Wade Weidenberger calls for more time. Is that the same bag of goldfish from yesterday, Camille? Okay, it is. She didn't go through the entire bag in one night, which is good news.
That's something, I'm not exaggerating, that my younger brother does, Brad. He will sit there and just pound back a bag of goldfish.
There it is, a strikeout. Moskaluk gets out of the inning.
You can hear the crowd loving it, Brad, after, loading the bases, getting into some trouble. That was a beautiful way to finish off for Moskaluk. Get his team back at bat and a chance to get ahead in this baseball game.
And that has got to feel real good for Tyler Moskaluk after working himself into a dangerous situation. One away, bases juiced. You work your way out of it with 2 strikeouts for the Thunder Bay, Ontario kid who's attending the University of Winnipeg as a junior. That's pretty good.
chance at tonight's cash prize. Thank you for supporting the Giants. The barbecues are going to be out for the barbecue patio party July 15th.
The Giants will head back to the sticks, and we will have Keegan Marsden followed by Josh Ionetti, who's DHing tonight, and Brendan Hallstrom, the catcher.
Through 22 games, Marsden batting at .325. He's leading the team with 5 home runs and 21 RBIs. He has been electric for the Giants this season, and, you know, maybe you'd like to have him a little later on to start this inning with him hitting so well, but very good chance of him getting on base here.
Keegan Marsden, a powerful hitter. Had a few nice drives yesterday that failed to fall, but got him deep out and left. And he's an excellent player all around. Good infielder, too. He booted that one on third, but a bit of a rough play for him. Diving backwards, you're on your back foot and trying to jump at it.
It's an awkward play to make, Brad. You can't really fault him on that one. So you speak to the power he has at the plate. Like I said, he's leading the team with 5 home runs on the season. That's not too shabby for the...
Leads the league.
There you go.
Now the play, Giants third baseman, number 19, Keegan Marsden.
Crowd into this one early on. They may have had a few libations before coming to the game here today. It is Canada Day, of course. Some people getting into it bright and early this morning. There may or may not have been a few who were a little bit sauced at the parade this morning, and I don't blame them. There's a day to do it.
Well, as you say, Brad, there's a lot of red in the crowd tonight. You're on point with your nice bright red country shirt that you love so much.
Oh, I enjoy nothing more than looking like a... Can't decide whether I look more like a pimple or a tomato, but either way, I love it. 2 quick strikes to Keegan Marsden, and great work early on by Ryan Johnson. This kid is something else. There's a fastball just on the outside corner. Off-speed pitch, almost taking Marsden's head off. 2-2 count. No score through 1.5 innings. Weyburn leaving 3 runners on. Yes, bases juiced in the top half of the second. Marsden with a grounder to short. That is scooped up by Widener. He'll make the toss over to first, and Marsden cannot get there in time. 1 down.
Great control of the ball so far tonight for Johnson. Brad, you mentioned it earlier. He's doing a really good job of painting the corners. And even once the Giants are able to get some contact on the ball, it's a pretty easy defensive play to retire the player. The Giants really need to try and get something into the gap, into the outfield, and get some players on base.
Here's Josh Ionetti. His nephew, Braden, throwing out the opening pitch of this game. Did a great job. Nailed it right in there for a strike. Baseball certainly runs in the Ionetti family.
Yeah, kid showed an arm.
And there's another grounder to Widener that's scooped and tossed over to first. And once more, the same play. 2 up, 2 down so far for the Giants as we head into Brendan Hallstrom, the catcher.
Giants have failed to get a runner on base so far. We're still very early in the game, Brad, but they really need to start getting the bats alive and at least getting a couple hits.
Another grounder to, you guessed it, short, picked up by Widener, tossed over to first. 3 up, 3 down in the exact same way. That was the easiest inning to call I've ever had.
Very quick inning too, Brad.
No score through 2. 4 hits on the board for Weyburn, none for the Fort McMurray Giants. Excellent work by Ryan Johnson so far. He may be the best opposing pitcher I have seen so far in a 1.5 years of covering this league and teams coming to visit Fort McMurray. He's been just absolutely lights out. A couple of strikeouts for him and some nice ground balls. We'll take a quick pause here, come back with the third.
It doesn't feel like summer until you take your vehicle out on the open road. Get your car ready. Willie's Tire and Auto Center now offers commercial vehicle inspections and out-of-province inspections. Plus, they can do your coolant flushes, air conditioning, pressure tests, and recharges. So you're ready for those long summer road trips. Call 780-791-1989 to book your appointment. Willie's Tire and Auto Center, where epic service makes the difference.
Northland Construction Supplies Fort McMurray Giants Baseball is a Country 93.3 presentation.
For nearly 20 years, Northland Construction Supplies has been Fort McMurray's source for everything concrete. They have the products, the tools, and the expertise to guide you through any of your concrete repair or construction projects. A trusted resource for contractors and DIYers all across Alberta, go where the experts go to Northland Construction Supplies. Come and visit our store at McAlpine Crescent or find us on the web at everythingconcrete.ca.
That is a great looking body you've got there.
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry. That came out completely wrong. I mean, your car, the bodywork, it looks amazing. What's your secret?
Oh, yeah, right. Birchwood Auto Body.
Birchwood Auto Body is a full-service body shop, including 2 downdraft paint booths. They can look after your insurance claim and offer additional products like box liners, detailing, tires, and rim replacement. Get a free estimate at Birchwood Auto Body. Our business happens by accident. 133 Mackenzie Street.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3. Live from Shell Place in the Willys Tire broadcast booth.
Welcome back to Shell Place. I'm Brad. He is Ben, and this is a scoreless ball game through 2 full innings of work. The Giants are on the defensive side of the ball. Leading off the inning, we're back to the top of the order with Luis Jimenez, who did make it on base with a bloop single to shallow right, but then he was caught in the rundown by a good job by Tyler Moskaluk on the pickoff attempt. And then it was Villarreal over to Max Hewitt for the out at second. First 2 pitches by Moskaluk, 1 a ball, 1 a strike. Jimenez cracks one down the first base line. That's foul. It'll land in the grassy hill just next to the Weyburn bullpen. Not as many kids playing there as we've seen in the past, Ben, and that's probably because twice so far the youngster's been beaned by a line drive, and it's a dangerous place to be. Grounded to Corey Conklin at second. Scoop and toss over to first. The put out in time. Villarreal making the grab. And the ground balls on this new turf field. This is a new stadium, barely 2 years old, and with turf it takes a while. It takes a couple of years of consistent play on it for the infield to really speed up the ball to travel at a regular pace. So, for a lot of the guys, we're still, we're about halfway through the season now, so the Giants players are used to it, but for opposing players, they struggle with it because when you're playing on a dirt infield, the ball comes to you much quicker than it does here on this turf. There's another looper just over a jumping Villarreal. That'll curl towards the right field line, and in with a single is Zach Mathis, the third baseman.
I don't think there's any sport, Brad, where home field advantage matters as much as it does in baseball.
Yep.
You mentioned a couple of reasons why there. While I was waiting to get the interview done earlier with the head coach for Weyburn, Phil Curtis, a few of the players very complimentary of Shell Place. They said it's a beautiful park. They asked me, does it normally fill up? I said, especially with Canada Day, with everyone being on the island, you can expect a pretty full crowd, and we certainly have that here tonight.
Yeah, it's a busy crowd. We haven't seen it full. I mean, this is a 2,500 seat stadium. We have not seen 2,500 people here. I think the most we've seen is about 13, 14 on opening day. There's a grounder chop to Max Hewitt. He'll make a backhand stab. Toss over to first, not in time, and safe on first, is Ulysses Llewellyn. So Zach Mathis moves to second. And a great leadoff jump there by Zach Mathis to get to second base. By the time Hewitt had picked up the ball, he was pretty much already there negating the double play.
Yeah, that's just smart base running right there, Brad. It's being aware of what's going on. And, not necessarily taking a risk, but playing aggressively, making sure to go for it when the opportunity's there.
Now we have Brady Nygaard, the first baseman. 0-1 count to him. 1 away. We're in the top of the third. Runners on first and second for Weyburn. Foul ball right into the gut of Brendan Hallstrom, the Giants catcher. And you mentioned home field advantage. Every other sport, the playing surface is designed and built to the specifications of the league. The NHL, you have your NHL standard size ice surface. The NBA, you have your standard court size. The NFL, football field is a certain size, but that's not the case in baseball. Every field varies. You know, some parks are way deeper, some are shallow. Some have tons of room for a ball to land fair and then curve out foul and go, 30, 40 feet the other way. Here, Shell plays a big field, 405 to straightaway center, 330, the shallowest part of the park, down either field line, first or third base. And certainly lots of room for the ball to move and curl foul here on the foul side on first and third near the bullpen. So it's a bit of a dangerous park for outfielders if it starts going the wrong way for you.
Yeah, that's always the fun part in my mind, Brad, of baseball, is checking out different stadiums, different ballparks, seeing what the field's like, how they differ from where you might be used to, and to see how teams adjust to it.
A grounder between the gap of shortstop and third, and coming home is Zach Mathis, and he'll score the opening run of this game. Beavers take a 1-0 lead. Ulysses Fluelin moves to second. Brady Nygaard safely on first, and in steps Evan Widener. And no activity yet in the Giants bullpen. One away, we're in the top of the third. I've been to just 2 ballparks in my time. 2 major league ballparks, I should specify. A number of really terrible municipal ones in Quebec. Played a Little League game in a trailer park in Hemingford, Quebec, where the infield was gravel.
Nice.
Yeah, sliding was not fun on that day. But I took in a few Expos games at Olympic Stadium, and what a dump that is. My goodness.
Obviously been to Rogers Centre out in Toronto. I still call it the Sky Dome.
Yeah, I've been there too.
And I have had the privilege to go to Wrigley Park.
Oh.
Second oldest park in the league. It was an amazing experience, Brad, to see how they used to build them and how things used to be. And to go back to talking about how fields differ, that's one of the things you have to look at. Some of these ballparks have been built decades apart from others.
Absolutely, and Shell Place, a brand new facility. Every team that comes in here, they are just blown away by the amenities here at McDonald Island Park and the baseball stadium. 2,500 seats. The big concession, the suites here, 5 suites available for you to use for group outings if you wish, birthday parties, staff gift, staff night here at the ballpark is great, something we usually do at the radio station. You can order booze and food. And if you are interested in booking one of those for one of the upcoming Giants home games, just get in touch with the Giants here at the box office, and they'll do that for you. And it is a luxurious experience. It's not anything you would expect to see at a Summer Collegiate League ball game in Fort McMurray, Alberta. This is something, you don't even see a ball diamond like this in A or maybe even most AA parks. This is a AAA ballpark.
Yeah, and Brad, to go back to the suites that you talk about, the sight lines are spectacular for them, too. You're right behind home plate. You've got a great view of the ballpark. It's just a fantastic night out.
Beautiful suite on the inside. You get a little patio party deck on the outside. And if you're lucky, you could be in the suite right next to us. And then, if you're willing, you can hand over a cold one. It's an easy transfer. I won't tell on you. Shortstop Evan Widener, a full count to him with runners on first and second. 1 away. It's a 1-0 lead for Weyburn. Zach Mathis, the third baseman, scoring the only run in this game. There's a ball fouled off, and that'll land in the parking lot. There's a grounder hit to Max Hewitt. He bobbles it. You don't see that often, and no safe option available to him. All the runners advance, and that is the first time I've seen an error from Max Hewitt this season.
Yeah, that's a really tough play there, Brad, because he had a pretty good chance to turn that into a double, get out of the inning. Instead, we're back to bases loaded with only 1 out. I think that was one of those situations of a player's body moving just a little bit faster than the brain is and not being able to come up with that ball.
In steps the center fielder Anthony Wiggins. As you mentioned, bases are juiced. Tyler Moskaluk got himself out of this last inning. We'll see if he can do the same here. There's a foul ball to start the at-bat.
Wiggins' previous at-bat, he hit a single, Brad. He's 1 for 1 on the night. You need to find a way to get him out of that batter's box. Maybe try and turn a double play here if you can.
Grounder's your friend.
All ready to pull the nest down?
0-1 count to Anthony Wiggins. There's a strike. Off-speed pitch.
This has been a recurring problem for the Giants, Brad. They get behind early in the game, and they're always playing keep up. I have not been to a Giants game yet so far where they've started the game with a lead.
Last night they managed to claw back. They were down 5-1 after the top of the third and put up runs in 5 consecutive innings, including 2 in the 5th. And there's a loud foul down the left field line. So it's an 0-2 count that remains to Anthony Wiggins. So many foul balls in this game. They're running out of them here at the ballpark almost. Giants do. If you come to a game and you catch a foul ball, you bring it back to the Giants swag shop, I guess, and they will give you a prize. So those game balls aren't cheap. There's a ball low and away. And I'm looking at the Weyburn dugout. Of course, they're the Beavers, Ben, and they have one of their players has, it looks like a beaver golf head covering on the top of the bat. I guess it's their team mascot.
That's a nice mascot to have. Nice little...
I don't know a man that doesn't love a good beaver.
Well, it's nice to bring on a road trip, right? Always have a beaver close.
Grounder to first. Villarreal makes the pickup, throws to home. Out is made. And Ulysses Fluent is put out at home, so the Giants are now 1 out away from getting out of this inning. They do not allow a run there. A perfectly hit ball for the Giants defensively.
Yeah.
Heads to your first baseman, makes a step to the right, and tosses back home, and an easy put out at home.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of pitching you need there is to just help your defense out, try and keep things, as you say, Brad, low, try and get some grounders going, and try and keep it out of the outfield.
In steps the DH, Carlos Flores. Again, bases are loaded, 2 away here, top of the third, 1-0 lead for Weyburn. They have 7 hits so far in this game.
Moskaluk's been having some trouble with the hits, Brad. There's no doubt about that. This is the second time in this game the bases have been loaded, and we're only in the top of the third right now.
If he can make it out of this inning without allowing another run, that is some incredible handiwork. You know, this pitch is better when the bases are juiced.
Yeah, that's playing with fire there.
Not something you want to do
Coach, I
consistently.
only do well when the bases are loaded.
The strategy is I'm going to walk 3 and then throw hot fire.
Well, why don't you just throw hot fire to start? It doesn't work that way.
It's a mental game. A ball. The crowd doesn't like it. That one was mighty close.
Yeah, I didn't like
counts.
it either.
No, it's not your decision now, is it?
I'm just expressing an opinion, Brad.
Well hit ball to left, and that one will fall foul. Count even up at 2s.
Crowd really getting into it tonight, Brad. You can hear them clapping along to the beat played by the in-stadium announcers there. After the big come-from-behind win last night, you figure the Giants riding a wave of momentum, having the crowd at their back should only help them.
There's a grounder hit to Villarreal at first, and that'll end the inning. The Giants escape back-to-back innings, bases loaded. This time they do allow one run in this inning, but that was not while the bases were juiced, so we'll head into the bottom of the third. And we'll finally see the bottom third of the Giants order. Ryan Villarreal, Corey Conklin, and Travis Turner, 7, 8, 9 in the lineup. And we'll see another inning of work from Ryan Johnson, who's been just absolutely lights out so far in this game.
Hasn't allowed a hit so far in the game, Brad. 2 strikeouts. The rest, other 4 players have been retired. He's been dominant.
Bunch of games in the WMBL today, obviously, with Canada Day. A crazy one in Lethbridge. The Bulls beat the Cardinals 12-11. Oof. 23 runs scored in that one. In the bottom of the 7th, the Brooks Bombers lead the Melville Millionaires 4-1. Regina and Medicine Hat are just about to start, and that game being held in Medicine Hat. Moose Jaw is in Edmonton taking on the Prospects in just a few moments. Later tonight, Yorkton is in Lethbridge. They're finishing off the second half of a doubleheader. And then at 7:05, Okotoks hosting Swift Current.
Nothing says Canada Day like a good old baseball game, and it's nice to see so many games happening throughout the league. I got to tell you, Brad, I do love the Giants white, black, and orange, but I'm really digging these Canada Day sweaters.
Yeah, these camo uniforms are something else.
I would not be disappointed if they stuck with these for the rest of the season.
No, they're nice. They'll be auctioned off.
Oh, yeah.
But the regular Giants uniforms are gorgeous, as you mentioned. Some of the nicest ones in the league, in my opinion. But Dutch has an eye for camo fashion. He knows which color combinations look good in the camo pattern. Which is funny, because I don't know anywhere in the wild where this camo pattern would work. Maybe in eastern, in Quebec or Ontario in the fall amongst the maple trees.
Maybe.
First pitch to Villarreal is a ball. He skies one. That one is way up. It looks like it's twisting foul in left field territory. A couple of Beavers are under it. Making the out is Weinberger. It's been easy slow dribbler grounders or sky-high pop-ups off the bat of the Giants, thanks to the pitching of Ryan Johnson.
And that's it, Brad. I mean, the defense has done their job, but their job has been incredibly easy so far tonight for the Weyburn Beavers, all thanks to starting pitcher Ryan Johnson.
In steps to the second baseman, Corey Conklin, who had a tough game defensively yesterday. A look to redeem himself today. He's made one put-out. Defensive assist so far tonight. And it's his first at-bat. It's been 3 up, 3 down for the Giants in each of their first 2 opportunities on the offensive side of the ball. And by 2 up, 2 down, of course, I mean 3 up, 3 down.
Change the rules for baseball on this Canada Day.
2-0 count. Make it 2-1 to Corey Conklin. And Conklin with a hot shot to center, and getting under it is Wiggins. Will retire the Giants batter.
Good contact with the ball there for Conklin, Brad. You can hear the crack of the bat, unfortunately, just right straight out to the center fielder. That's an easy play again for the Weyburn defense.
And here comes the right fielder, Travis Turner. First pitch, fastball in for a strike. Oh, 1 count, 2 away. We're in the bottom of the third. make it 1-1. Weyburn leads this game 1-0. They have 7 hits. The Giants have none. The Giants also have the lone error in this game. That one issued to Max Hewitt. And if you've been following the Giants all season, you'd be very surprised to hear me say that.
It's not often that he causes an error, Brad. Again, it seemed to be a play of he's just trying to turn the double too quickly and didn't have full control of the baseball.
2-2 count to Travis Turner. And if he can get on base, Hector Benitez is in the on-deck circle. He will not. A strikeout. Soft-speed pitch down and away. And Ryan Johnson again, 3 up, 3 down, 3 straight innings. He's been phenomenal. And we had heard that we'd be facing, or the Giants would be facing rather, the top pitcher for Weyburn, and he has met the bill. It's been great. Take a quick pause here, come back with the top of the 4th right after this quick break.
Today's best country. Let's go. Turn it up. 93.3 FM.
CJOK. Fort McMurray.
Listen live at country933.com or download the Country 93.3 app.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3 in partnership with Birchwood Auto Body. Our business happens by accident.
In your line of business, every minute counts. Downtime on your network means losing out on a client or valuable revenue. Keep your company running at peak performance without interruption. McMurray Computer and Telecom has a variety of preventable maintenance programs for your computer, network, and business phone systems. And have peace of mind in the event of a failure. McMurray's backup and disaster recovery programs are designed to get you back up and running. Call McMurray today, 780-790-6666.
It doesn't feel like summer until you take your vehicle out on the open road. Get your car ready. Willie's Tire and Auto Center now offers commercial vehicle inspections and out-of-province inspections. Plus, they can do your coolant flushes, air conditioning, pressure tests, and recharges. So you're ready for those long summer road trips. Call 780-791-1989 to book your appointment. Willie's Tire and Auto Center, where epic service makes the difference.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3 in partnership with Birchwood Auto Body. Our business happens by accident.
Welcome back to Shaw Place for the top of the 4th inning. And leading off the inning for the Weyburn Beavers is number 17, the catcher, Zach Frazier. And his first pitch is fouled off in behind home plate.
Frazier was struck out at his last at-bat, but Moskow's been struggling a little bit with hits over the past 2 innings, Brad, so maybe he will be able to get some good wood on it in this one.
0-1 count. Make it 0-2. A great fastball just painting the outside corner of the plate by Tyler Moskowaluk. This is, I think, the biggest crowd we've seen this year other than the home opener, Ben.
Yep, I would agree. And they're into it tonight.
They are. They've been loud and proud. And they're just waiting for the Giants to give them something to cheer. But it's hard to come to a ball game as the home team when the opposing pitcher is as dominant as Ryan Johnson has been so far this afternoon. I mean, it's a pleasure to watch when you know and you love the game of baseball, to watch a player be as good as he's been. And there's a ball that's fouled off towards Keegan Marson on the foul line, and he will make the out. So 1 up and 1 away for the Giants. But as a fan, you want to see your team do well, obviously. And it's a little different when it's your pitcher out there dominating, but not so much fun when it's the other team.
Yeah, I mean, the offense has just been non-existent for the Giants tonight, Brad. They need to find a way to change that around. Again, you're facing a pitcher that's only played 1 game in the league so far. You just really don't know what to expect until you see it.
And what we've seen so far has been excellent. Wade Weinberger now in the batter's box, so 0-1 count to him. First pitch strike, no swing, kept the bat on his shoulder.
When the Giants get back at bat, Brad, it'll be Benitez who will be first on the plate, and he was whispering some things to his teammates as he left after his first at bat where he got struck out. Very, very patient batter, so it'll be interesting to see what his approach will be the second time around facing Johnson.
This is Weinberger's second at bat in this game, and Again, another foul ball, an 0-2 count. Twice now he's fallen behind 0-2. And a fastball just on the outside of the plate. The crowd wanted it, but they don't get the call from the home plate umpire. 1-2 count to Wade Weinberger, the left fielder for Weyburn, who lead 1-0 in this game. A single run scored in the third. There's a grounder chopped towards first base, picked up by Villarreal, tossed over to Moskaluk for the putout. 2 up, 2 away for the Giants so far in this inning. We're back to the top of the order with Luis Jimenez, who's now batting for the third time in this game, and it's only the top of the fourth. Of course, the Beavers do have 7 hits so far.
Moskaluk looking a lot better in this inning, Brad. 2 pretty quick outs for him. Hasn't had to do a whole lot of work. And hasn't loaded the bases yet, so that's a plus.
Twice the Beavers have loaded the bases in this game, and twice when the bases were jammed, Moskaluk able to work his way out of it, and both times only a single out. 1-0 count to Jimenez. Second pitch fouled off. Another foul ball by Jimenez, that one right behind home plate. Now a 1-2 count. Moskaluk in the driver's seat with 2 away. He can get out of this inning and get his boys back to bat. And a strikeout for Tyler Moskaluk ends the top of the fourth, and the Giants will head back to the sticks, trailing 1-0. And there you go, 3 up, 3 down for the Fort McMurray Giants. And probably over here, PA announcer Jerry Neville saying the 50-50 already at $800 for tonight. Someone's going home a happy camper.
Wouldn't be too bad, eh?
Would not be too awful. And the crowd's spread out, lots of people in the seats, but what I really love, and one day when I have the opportunity to actually just come and watch a game and not work, sit in the patio seats. They have patio seats lining third base line and a couple down the first base line as well, where you can sit with your buddies, have a few cold drinks, grab some food, watch the game. You don't have to sit in one of the seats like a peasant.
And good sight lines while you're up there as well, Brad. It's a nice little spot.
Great sight lines, too. It's such a spectacular place to watch a ball game.
Well, the pizza, I will say, is to die for.
It is good. I'm not going to lie. I'm working my way through one while we go through the commercial breaks.
We had a little staff night here at the park last week, and I had a slice of pizza for the first time. $4. Probably one of the best ballpark pizza slices I have ever had. It was worth all 4 of those dollars.
Ryan Johnson out for another inning of work. We'll see if he can be Mr. 3 up, 3 down again. That is all he's done in this game. Throw quality pitches. And he may be the most dominant pitcher in this league. Well, he's only had 1 appearance, but in this, his second one, he's been perfect. Big, tall, strong, hard-throwing pitcher.
He's listed at 6'4", 220. That's a big boy down there.
Yeah, that it is. 6'4", 220, as you mentioned, from Winnipeg, Manitoba, junior at Lubbock Christian College.
And I'll say it, Brad, nice guy. I was chatting with him before the start of the game. Nice guy.
What did he have to say?
Oh, you know what? He showed quite an interest in radio, actually. That's where it all started, saying that I was looking for the coach to get an interview for the pregame show. Coach was throwing pitches during their batting practice, so while I was waiting, chatted it up with him, and talked a little bit about radio, a little bit about baseball, and a little bit about life.
What did he teach you about baseball, and what did you teach him about radio?
Well, radio, he was asking about frequencies, believe it or not. He seems to think that a lot of formats have very similar frequencies, rock, country, and whatnot. So just kind of explained to him how the frequencies work and how it's assigned in each town. And then baseball, he just talked a little bit about his story. He's played some ball in Texas. He mentioned where he's schooling right now, and been all over the country playing baseball.
3-0 count to leadoff batter Hector Benitez, make it 3-1. He takes that first pitch strike. It's the wonderful thing about sport, especially baseball, is guys go all over the place. You know, hockey, you mostly stay in Canada or in the northern U.S. as Benitez has issued the walk, but baseball, you go all over the place. When you look at the Giants, you know, the players from Puerto Rico, all over the States, California, Texas.
One of the things we were talking about, Brad, was a friend of his is actually coaching baseball in Japan. The Japanese are trying to grow the sport over there. They're doing a great job of it. They love baseball, and it's a very different game over there than it is over here. So to bring in some North American coaching really affects the game.
And one of my favorite Blue Jays of all time, Munenori Kawasaki, just returned back to Japan to play after his time ended with the Chicago Cubs. And he gave his first interview in English for Canada 150, for Canada Day.
Yeah, I did see that too. He's
and he was so funny, my
he's
goodness.
a stud.
And he kept talking about how much he loves Toronto and misses Toronto, and how poutine is his favorite food, and Canadian beer is better than Japanese beer, and that poutine is better than ramen. And now Benitez is caught in the rundown. Benitez is out at second and caught lazily leading off on first. And we've seen that same play twice now in this game, once from each team.
Yeah, that was a heads-up play there by Johnson. Makes no mistake. Unfortunate there, Brad, because that was the Giants' first player to make it on base.
Was. And here's Jordan Stickler in the box. A 1-0 count to him, one away. Bottom of the fourth.
I love watching Stickler, Brad, because I am amazed that he never gets a warning for standing too close to the plate.
He's almost in the other batter's box.
Yeah.
Like, he's that far on the edge. You know, I think if he were to puff out his chest a little bit more, he'd be on home plate. And here he's actually taking a step back. He shows bunt, pulls away.
First broadcast I did, his first at-bat, he was hit by the pitch. And you had to wonder, you know, is that going to dial him back in at all? It certainly did not. His next at-bat, he was probably even closer than he was before, almost daring the pitcher, go ahead and hit me.
And he chops a grounder right to Johnson, the pitcher, who scoops and tosses over to first for the putouts. 2 up, 2 down for Weyburn, and Max Hewitt, the shortstop, comes in.
If there was a player to kickstart this offense, Brad, he's at the plate right now.
And the Giants need a bit of a spark offensively. They haven't reached base on a hit, just the walk issue to Benitez, and of course caught in the rundown just moments ago. And there's a pitch in the dirt by Johnson. Bounced up, and you saw some of the rubber pellets in the turf sprinkle in the air. Another ball. 2-0 count. Looks like the Giants being much more patient their second time around through the order than they were the first time.
Well, and it worked very well for Benitez. Was able to get the walk.
And there's a ball chopped to second base. Jimenez with the underhand toss over to first. 3 up, 3 down for Ryan Johnson once more. And we'll head into the top of the fifth with it being just a 1-0 ball game. Take a quick pause and return with that right after this.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3. Live from Shell Place in the Willys Tire broadcast booth.
At Everything Ceramic, we have what it takes to bring your tile project to life. We stock an amazing selection of glass, stone, and ceramic products and have trained people on hand to help make your choices easier. So when you walk into an Everything Ceramic showroom, you'll discover the right tile, tools, and thinking. Ready to start? Visit Everything Ceramic at select Northland Construction Supplies locations. To find the store nearest you, visit everythingceramic.ca.
It doesn't feel like summer until you take your vehicle out on the open road. Get your car ready. Willie's Tire and Auto Center now offers commercial vehicle inspections and out-of-province inspections. Plus, they can do your coolant flushes, air conditioning, pressure tests, and recharges. So you're ready for those long summer road trips. Call 780-791-1989 to book your appointment. Willie's Tire and Auto Center, where epic service makes the difference.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3. Live from Shell Place in the Willie's Tire broadcast booth.
Welcome back to Shell Place as the Giants trail this game 1-0. We're already in the top of the fifth. This game started just an hour and 10 minutes ago. This may be the quickest one yet. Ryan Johnson doing pretty quick work of the Giants so far tonight. And other than a couple loaded bases in the second and third inning, Tyler Moskaluk has done the same for the Giants.
Moskaluk had a very, very strong inning in the top of the fourth there, Brad. Hopefully he can keep that momentum going after struggling a little bit in the second and the third.
In steps the third baseman, Zach Mathis. He's had a hit so far tonight, scored the only run in this game, and he's got another chopper. Great job by Corey Conklin. Climbs the ladder, makes the outs.
Again, you see a nice athletic play there by the Giants infield, Brad. They're very, very strong there in both positions. Yeah, Marsden and Hewitt, they certainly know how to get a baseball.
And they are pretty good at it. The Giants have been lucky to have really good shortstops and third basemen in their 2 seasons so far. In steps Ulysses Llewellyn, 0-1 count to him, 1 away. Ball just on the outside, 1-1. Seven hits in this game for Weyburn. They lead 1-0. And Llewellyn with a pop-up to shallow center. Under it is Benitez, and he'll make the outs. And in steps the first baseman, Brady Nygaard. Moskaluk's first pitch, a ball low and away. There's a strike at the knees, 1-1 count. Well hit ball. That one between the gap and bounces off the wall by Nygaard. And throw to the cutoff man Hewitt as Nygaard is in for a stand-up double.
Yeah, he got all of that one, Brad. I mean, that was only a couple feet away from being out of this park.
Evan Widener, the shortstop, with 2 away and a runner on second. Moskaluk taking a second to check back on Nygaard before delivering a first pitch ball to Evan Widener, the shortstop. There's a nice slider for a strike by Moskaluk. Make it a 1-1 count, 2 away. We're at the top of the 5th. Beavers lead 1-0. They have 8 hits in this game. They've stranded at least 8 runners on base. They had bases loaded twice.
That's where you really have to give credit to the Giants, Brad. Yes, lots of hits in this game for the Beavers so far, but only 1 run to show for it. Defense and pitching is doing its job so far.
When it matters, when it counts, they've shown up. 2-1 count to Widener. Off-speed pitch in for a strike. And every time the crowd starts going with the clap, the Beavers players call for a little extra time, break up their rhythm. Jerry Neville's going to come back with it again. 2-2 counts. Evan Widener could end the inning here with a strike. And it's a ball low in the dirt.
Again, Brad, it's nice to have that home field advantage when the announcer's on your side.
Your tunes, your crowd, your bet at the end of the night. And Moskaluk takes a step off the rubber, readjusts himself. And the walk is issued to Evan Widener. So Anthony Wiggins, the center fielder, will step in.
2 for 2 on the night with 2 singles. Got a runner on second, runner on first. Moskaluk could be close to loading the bases again here, Brad, which has worked out for him so far tonight.
2 outs this time instead of just the traditional 1. It's Wiggins at the plate. Widener on first, Nygaard on second. He was into the stand-up double. There's a foul ball ripped down the left field line. Fastball inside for a ball, 1-1 count. Two away, top of 5, 8 hits, 1-0 the lead for Weyburn, and now we will see some activity in the Giants bullpen. Trevor Bauer's heading out there, as is Nick Cardinal, and it looks like Tyler Hodder. No doubt we see Hodder pitch. He's probably just going to go and catch for one of the guys. But Cardinal an option as a long reliever here. Bauer has traditionally played the role of closer for the Giants this season. 2-2 counts to Anthony Wiggins. And a foul ball. Will extend the at-bat.
Don't need much right here now, Brad, to get out of the inning.
Either base, 1, 2, or 3, an option for a putout. A grounder makes it easy, a strikeout makes it even easier. And it's a grounder to the gap between second and shortstop. Diving to keep it in the infield is Max Hewitt, but everyone reaches base safely. So we do have bases loaded again for Tyler Moskaluk, and he's a little frustrated. And in comes the DH, Carlos Flores.
I mean, he started the inning, Brad, with 2 straight outs. It looked like he was going to get out of the inning very quickly. And then since then, we've had a double, a walk, and a single to load the bases up here.
And another visit to the mound from pitching coach Ian Sanderson.
Moskaluk, from my view here, does look a little frustrated out there, Brad. Hard to blame him again. 3rd time he's loaded the bases here tonight, but each time previous to this one, he's been able to get out no problem.
It's probably a finish this one off and great game.
And I wouldn't put that too far off the mark. I mean, yeah, he's allowed a lot of hits, but again, only the 1 run. So he has had a very, very good game here tonight.
You just can't keep playing with fire the way that the Giants have so far tonight. It'll burn ya. So it's the DH. Carlos Flores, bases are loaded, 2 away, top of 5, 1-0 lead for Weyburn. And he cranks one down the left field line, foul. And he's got some power behind that bat.
Solid connection there. I mean, that one was way foul, Brad, but if it stayed in, definitely would have scored a couple runs in.
Moskaluk started with 2 straight outs, as you mentioned, and it's been 3 straight men reaching base since, and there's a foul ball. So we're a strike away from ending this inning and getting out of this jam for the Giants. You can sense the fans getting a little frustrated. There's a ball. 1-2 count.
That one got away from Moskaluk a little bit. This shouldn't be a very high pressure situation, Brad, with so many ways to get that one out that you need, but it does feel like a lot of pressure's on him right now.
Any base will do, including home. And that ball is ripped to deep left field. On his horse, coming back for it. That ball is gone. A grand slam for the DH, Carlos Flores, and the Weyburn Beavers take a 5-1 lead. Stickler turned and ran for it, and then he just looked up, and that ball at least 345 feet out of this ballpark.
You could hear the crack there. Flores got all of that ball, Brad, and we've been talking about it since the 3rd inning. You load the bases like that so many times, you're playing with fire. This one burns the Giants pretty badly. A 1-0 lead wasn't really that much to look at, but now all of a sudden it's 5-0 for Weyburn.
5-0, excuse me, I said 5-1. And Connor Moskaluk's day is done. Can't quite see the number of who's coming in here.
It's number 17.
All the Giants have 17 on the back of their uniform. They have their true number on the belly of their shirt. It looks like 21.
Now pitching number 21 from Timberley, Fort McMurray, Ryan Dunn.
And it's Ryan Dunn, the local boy, straight out of Timbo. It's nearly as rough as Compton.
Is it?
No.
That's a tough way for Moskaluk to end there, Brad. I mean, he had a pretty good night there, but to get yanked after a grand slam, that's got to be frustrating for him.
Done 5'10", 175, a right-handed throwing sophomore at the University of Calgary in the CCBC. Had an ERA of 3.0, 2 strikeouts, 4 walks, allowing 15 hits and 12 innings of work in 3 games. Had a record of 1-0 in the few starts that he did make. Played mostly in the infield at the UFC for the Dinos. And so far this season, he's pitched 6 innings, allowing 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, no runs, an ERA of 0, and an opponent's batting average of 100. So he has been excellent out of the pen.
Yep, those are some really nice stats. Exactly what you're looking for a relief pitcher. And Brad, he's coming into a pretty easy spot here in the top of the 5th. But no pressure. There's 2 outs already. He's just got to get out of the inning. And then hopefully the Giants can find a way to answer Ryan Johnson, because so far that has been their problem tonight.
And in steps Zach Fraser. He shows bunt. Can't make contact. It's a strike. Fraser, the catcher, number 8 in the order. 2 away, top of 5. A grand slam. First one I've seen in this league for Carlos Flores. It's a way to pad your stats. A run scored.
Just a little bit too, eh?
Yeah. A run scored, 3 RBIs, a home run up on the board. You have a 5-0 lead to work with on 10 hits tonight.
And your pitcher has been light out so far.
And what was all of a sudden a tight game no longer.
Now, Brad, you've called a few more games than I have, but this has been the pattern for the Giants. They get behind early in the game, and then they play catch-up.
And a grounder to Keegan Marsden will end it. He'll make the throw over to first for the putouts. And the Giants will head to the bottom of the 5th inning, trailing 5-0. Take this opportunity to thank one of our great sponsors, Birchwood Auto Body, where their business happens by accident.
Have to say, one of the best taglines I have ever heard.
It's a play on words.
It's genius.
It's creative. It's unique.
And it just makes sense.
And the next time you're in a car crash, you see Birchwood Auto Body. Ryan Johnson comes out for another inning of work. He has been phenomenal. That is putting it mildly. He has been the big difference maker. Before that grand slam for Perez, this game was all on Ryan Johnson. And leading off the inning for the Giants will be batters 4, 5, 6, Keegan Marsden. Excuse me, it'll be batters 5, 6, 7, Josh Ionetti, Brendan Hallstrom, and Ryan Villarreal, if I'm not mistaken. Barring a change. No, it looks like Marsden is going first, so Marsden, Ionetti, Hallstrom. It's hard to tell without their numbers.
Yeah. They did not do the broadcasters any favors with that.
No, I'm surprised Dutch didn't think of me only when he
specifically.
Put these, yeah, like, yeah. I mean, we text every once in a while.
Yeah. Maybe next time you should, demand that he consult you before any uniform changes.
I think it's friends off now. That's where we're at. If you're looking for something to do tonight, come down to the Country 93.3 and 97.9 Rock Music main stage here at Mac Island over by Miskinaw, by the golf course almost. The Community Music Showcase is done, and we'll be firing up the music at 8:30, starting with Amy Heff, who's on until about 9, and then the Veins are on at 9. At 10, it's the Sissy Fits, and at 11, Craig Moritz. And then fireworks are scheduled. The Syncrude Grand Finale fireworks scheduled for 11:59 p.m. exactly. Not 58, not midnight on the nose, not 12:01 July 2, Ben. 11:59 on the nose, as per the schedule I was handed from the fine folk over here at Mac Island.
If you do fireworks at midnight, you're not doing them on Canada Day.
Exactly.
It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Then it's a lie. It's a fib. You're celebrating Canada 150 in one day.
It's a great night for fireworks, though, Brad. The cloud cover means it should get dark a little bit earlier than it normally would. Very, very comfortable temperature outside tonight. You might need just a light sweater or jacket.
3-1 count to Keegan Marsden. I'm going to make a wardrobe change and pull out the Canadian tuxedo, denim on denim. No better way to celebrate Canada Day when you're hosting the main stage.
Now, are you going to keep your beautiful red shirt, though?
No, that is coming off. Marsden issued a walk. And, Ben, this is your first time, first Canada Day up here, and it's always, northern summers, everyone up here knows the sun is up for basically forever.
Yep.
And it's always kind of neat to watch the fireworks and have a little bit of sunlight in the background.
I think it was my second weekend out here, Brad. I decided to call it a night the one Saturday at 3 in the morning. And as I was walking inside, the sun was coming up.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, it was a very weird feeling for this Ontario boy.
In steps Ionetti. First pitch to him is a strike. Fans fiercely defensive of their hometown boys. Spent a week in Yellowknife 2 summers ago. And again, Keegan Marsden now caught in the rundown. Twice now the Giants have been caught leading off of first, and Marsden is put out on second base. My goodness.
Again, this is just great heads-up playing by Johnson to recognize that he has an opportunity there. That one, Brad, I got to see a little bit closer. And he had a very lazy throw to first, almost like he wasn't going to quite do it. And I think that's how he was able to catch Marsden unawares.
And I'm sure Pat Riley is steaming a little bit in the Giants dugout about that. You finally get a runner on base. You come in with Ionetti, and you're into the meat of your lineup here a little bit with Hallstrom next and Villarreal following. And twice every time the Giants have gotten a man on base to lead off the inning, they get picked off. Caught in the rundown. A 2-1 count to Ionetti, but as this game is worn on, Johnson throwing more balls. Things still seem to just go his way. 2-1 count. I was mentioning spending a week up in Yellowknife in the summer, and they have 24-hour sunlight in the summer there. It's 11 o'clock at night, feels like 5 p.m. And Ionetti with a well-hit ball to shallow right, and back on his horse is Ulysses Llewellyn makes the great grab. That'll put Boomer back into the dugouts. 2 away as Brendan Hallstrom, the catcher, comes up. And Yellowknife, if you ever have the chance to go, a beautiful city. I've been in both the winter and the summer, and in the wintertime, just a spectacular, rugged beauty, especially with the northern lights at night. And in the summer, I mean, when you have 24-hour sunlight, and Great Slave Lake is your backdrop, not bad. Oh, 1 count to Brendan Hallstrom. None on base for the Giants. And Ryan Johnson looking to make it 3 up, 3 down for the 5th straight inning. Giants don't have a hit in this game. Only 2 runners they've had on base issued courtesy of the walk. And a foul ball goes off the lip of the suite structure here at Shell Place and bounces back down into the crowd. And it's like they have them angled the wrong way, because every time the ball hits them, they come straight back down on the crowd like projectile. If they have them angled up, there's a chance they skip over. But if you come to a game here, you really need to be aware of where the ball is hit, even if it goes foul, especially if it goes straight back up, because they come back down fast. And it landed in a space where between 3 rows, there's no one sitting there, but a couple kids just a few feet away.
Well, the game that we came to with our station, Brad, one of our sales reps, Troy Dixon, he was almost hit by a foul ball that he had no idea was coming at him as he returned from the beer line.
Well, he deserves it, so. And 2-2 count to Hallstrom. He took that one just off the edge of the bat. And it looked like he was hit, but he took it off the knob of the bat. Look, a butterfly.
No, louder.
Another ball fouled up and over.
After the close call on the last foul ball, that one definitely had the crowd's attention, Brad. A lot of necks turning back to see where that one was going.
Usually doesn't happen more than once, and Hallstrom swings on a ball in the dirt, and he gets put out at first, and that will end the fifth inning. So we'll head into the top of the sixth with the Giants trailing this game 5-0.
Northland Construction Supplies Fort McMurray Giants Baseball is a Country 93.3 presentation.
For nearly 20 years, Northland Construction Supplies has been Fort McMurray's source for everything concrete. They have the products, the tools, and the expertise to guide you through any of your concrete repair or construction projects. A trusted resource for contractors and DIYers all across Alberta, go where the experts go to Northland Construction Supplies. Come and visit our store at McAlpine Crescent or find us on the web at everythingconcrete.ca.
In your line of business, every minute counts. Downtime on your network means losing out on a client or valuable revenue. Keep your company running at peak performance without interruption. McMurray Computer and Telecom has a variety of preventable maintenance programs for your computer, network, and business phone systems. And have peace of mind in the event of a failure. McMurray's backup and disaster recovery programs are designed to get you back up and running. Call McMurray today, 780-790-6666.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3 in partnership with Birchwood Auto Body. Our business happens by accident.
Welcome back to Shell Place as the Giants trail 5-0. A little contest between some of the kids for pizza underway. And the Giants, of course, trailing this game by a 5-0 score.
Huge grand slam for Weyburn last inning, Brad, and gotta wonder if that might be a spark for their offense to get going here.
Of course, the Jays played a home game today, celebrating Canada 150 at the Dome. And they fell 7-1 to the Boston Red Sox. Chris Sale, who has been just phenomenal for the Red Sox. What a pickup for them with a wonderful day of work for him. And the Jays back at it tomorrow, taking on the Red Sox once more.
Now, I don't know if you caught it, Brad, but I was able to catch the national anthem being played on 97.9 Rock. All Rogers stations across Canada played the national anthem from the Jays game at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, or 1:07, sorry, Eastern Time. So that was pretty cool. They did a great job with that one.
There's a foul ball hit by Wade Weinberger. I think we may have lost our crowd mic, which it seems is the case. And Weinberger with a shallow shot to center, and diving to make the grab is Hector Benitez, and he will hang on to it. One away, we're back to the top of the order with Luis Jimenez. But a little jerry-rigging and a microphone over the side of the broadcast booth does just as good a job. One away, 0-1 count to Jimenez. Ryan Dunn is on the mound after coming in relief for Tyler Moskaluk. And Jimenez, the second baseman, back to the top of the order. This is his 4th at-bat. We're in the top of the 6th. Off-speed pitch, bunted by Jimenez. He's got great wheels. The throw over by Dunn is in time. A great play by Ryan Dunn defensively. Jimenez has great wheels. And in comes Zach Mathis as Dunn looks to make quick work of the Beavers here in the top of 6. 2 up, 2 down so far.
Yeah, that was a great heads-up play there by Dunn. Got to the ball in time. Got the ball to first base in time. And as you said, Brad, Jimenez, he's got some wheels on him. I thought he was going to make it.
Zach Mathis scored a run in this game, the opening run in the 3rd inning. First pitch to him, a ball. Another ball outside for Ryan Dunn. Two-0 counts. Make that 3-0 to Zach Mathis. And the walk, strike, excuse me, sorry. 3-1 count to Mathis. That ball just painting the corner of the plate. Foul ball ripped into the mesh. That was going straight for Oil Barons trainer Pete Spears. It was a heat-seeking missile. Good thing he's the Oil Barons trainer. He bandaged himself up. In case you're wondering, if you're a regular listener of our radio station, Pete Spears is indeed the Country 93.3 groupie. There's a well-hit ball by Mathis to center. Benitez is under it. He'll make the outs. And that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Ryan Dunn. And we'll head into the bottom of the 6th with the Giants still trailing by a 5-0 score.
That's exactly what you want to see out of your reliever, Brad, to come in, get your team out of the inning quickly, and with no runs scored.
To get your Giants merchandise, the store will be closing at the end of the 7th. While you're there, make sure you stop by the 50-50 table to get your tickets for the 50-50. It's growing.
The Giants playing again tomorrow afternoon.
I think they're going to be very happy to not be facing Ryan Johnson tomorrow.
That game starts at 2:05 against Weyburn. We'll take a second to look through the out-of-town scoreboard.
Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball. This is the Country 93.3 scoreboard. Brought to you by the Afternoon Show with Mike Jones.
It's a 12-1 final in favor of Lethbridge over Yorkton. Brooks beats Melville 4-1. Weyburn, of course, the 5-0 lead here in Fort McMurray. Regina, Medicine Hat tied at 0s in the top of the 4th. Edmonton is a 3-0 lead over Moose Jaw in the top of the 3rd. Yorkton and Lethbridge scoreless in the second half of their doubleheader in the top of the 1st. And then at 7:05, Swift Current is in Okotoks. And Ryan Johnson comes out for another inning of work.
Can you really call it work? With how well he's been pitching tonight, Brad.
You're not wrong. It's been 5 innings of 3 up, 3 down ball.
Only 2 Giants able to make the base. Both were on walks. He's yet to give up a hit.
And both times they were picked off, caught in the rundown. Ryan Villarreal, Corey Conklin, and then Travis Turner, the bottom 3rd of the Giants' batting order. And Pat Riley's probably just thinking to myself, my goodness, when is this kid going to tire out so I can get some offense going?
Yeah. That is going to be the big question in my mind, Brad, is when they take him out of the game.
They're running out of track to score 5 runs. Into the 6th now. Just 4 more full innings to play at the offensive side of the ball. Foul ball to lead off the at-bat. Another one fouled down the first base line into the Weyburn dugout by Villarreal, the Giants' first baseman. Villarreal goes down swinging, chasing some garbage on the outside of the plate.
Number 7, Corey Conklin.
Talked about it with Pat Riley. We mentioned it a little bit before the game, Brad. The Giants really had a problem of chasing pitches, and that's a perfect example right there on the strikeout. It's tough to stay patient, especially when you're so far behind in the game here and not a whole lot of time left, as you alluded to earlier, but you got to stay patient. You got to stay poised and just wait for the right pitches out there.
Corey Conklin turns his shoulder inside on a curveball, and it's a 1-0 count. Ball in the dirt for Johnson there. Now a 3-0 count to Corey Conklin. And he has issued 2 walks so far this game.
And then caught both base runners as they tried to steal second.
And there's the walk issued to Corey Conklin. We'll see how long he can last.
It's interesting, Brad, to think that you might have a situation here where you just really have to limit your leadoff from first base, because that's how good Johnson's been with picking it off.
And as a lefty, the throw across is easier, less time to tell as a runner, so he doesn't have to turn his whole body to make the throw. In steps Travis Turner, the Giants right fielder. I'll take a hard swing at the first pitch he sees. 0-1 count.
You can see it with Villarreal right now, Brad. As he's leading off, he is still leaning back towards first base to make sure he can get back in time.
One count. Ball low inside. And there's one in the dirt. Villarreal's going to take off to second, and he's there safe. Ball bobbled off the chest of Zach Frazier, the catcher, fell to his right, had to scramble, flip off his lid to get it, and Villarreal with heads-up base running moves to second base.
Very smart base running, and Brad, at this point in the game, you got to be aggressive, right? You haven't. This is the first base runner we've had for the Giants on second base. It's been a while in this game for them to get going. So at this point, take the chances, go for the aggressive play when it's there, because you need to find a way to generate some runs at this point.
Hard cut by Conklin is fanned on, and it'll make it a 2-2 count. Back to the top of the order following Corey Conklin with Hector Benitez.
It's actually Turner on deck right now.
You're correct. Getting ahead of myself. And a pitch out by Johnson, thinking that the Giants' second base runner would try and steal third in Ryan Villarreal. And the fans saying, we just want a singular hit. Every time the Giants have reached base, it's been by a walk. And there's another one. Runners on first and second for Travis Turner.
For the Fort McMurray Giants, his center fielder, number 8, Hector Benitez.
What I really liked about that at-bat for Conklin there, Brad, was the patience. He didn't chase any pitches. He stayed calm, ended up getting the walk, which that's really been the only weakness in Johnson's game so far. He's given up a couple throughout.
Okay, I was right. It is Benitez. These numbers are confusing both of us now. And then in the on-deck circle is Jordan Stickler. So Ryan Dunn took that at-bat for Travis Turner.
Ladies and gentlemen, quick update on the
That'll do.
Thought you're killing me. Every Giants player has 17 on their back, and then in very small lettering on the front, they have their regular jersey number. And on these camo jerseys, it makes it tough to see. And the fact that we're 3 stories up and about 100 feet away doesn't help. And here comes Dutch rocking his jersey. So we are back to the top of the order with Hector Benitez. 1 away, runners on first and second. 2 walks. There's a ball up high. Johnson turns back looking to pick off at second, but he didn't have a teammate there. It just forces Villarreal back onto the base. Two-one count to Hector Benitez. Ryan Dunn is on first. On second, Corey Conklin. And that one almost, it does graze Hector Benitez, so he takes the base after being hit by the pitch, and it's bases juiced for the left fielder, Jordan Stickler. 1 away, the Giants trail this game by 5.
I gotta say, Brad. Sorry, go ahead.
An opportunity within striking distance here.
Well, and I gotta love this situation where the Giants have bases loaded and still have not generated a hit in this baseball game.
It's been all courtesy of Ryan Johnson, and now the umpires are going to discuss whether or not Benitez was actually hit by that pitch. And it looks like things will stay the way they are.
Early in the game, the biggest thing you noted about Johnson was his control, and the ball seems to be getting away from him a little bit now as his pitch count starts to rise.
And this game is really filled up as people come to the island. They've started to fill into the park, and just as this game goes on, more and more people are here, and it's a great crowd. Enjoying the nice warm weather, a little cloud cover, some cold brew, decent food, good food, and what is looking like a very entertaining bottom of the 6th. First pitch strike to Stickler. Benitez on first, Ryan Dunn on second, Corey Conklin on third, so speed all around.
With only 1 out here, Brad, the Giants really need to come away with something in this position.
They don't score a run, it's a failure. A well-placed base hit scores 2. 1-1 count.
Come on, batter.
Hard swing by Jordan Stickler. Fans on it. 1-2 counts. In the on-deck circle is Max Hewitt.
Stickler was looking to crush that one, Brad. Just couldn't find the ball.
And Stickler goes down swinging.
Now the play.
So with 2 away, it's the shortstop, Max Hewitt. Bases are loaded. Giants trail this game 5-0. Hewitt is a lefty up against the lefty in Johnson. First swing, fanned on by Max Hewitt.
In my mind, this is a pretty high-pressure situation for Hewitt, Brad. He's, leads the league in home runs. Bases are loaded right now. Giants desperate for offense. And you just got to think he feels he's got to be the guy to do it.
One count. 2 away, bases are loaded. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Giants trail 5-0. There's an off-speed pitch, a curveball catching the corner of the plate. 1-2 is your count. Johnson trying to escape the bases loaded situation unscathed. Ball to the outside. Count at deuces.
Can't recall the last baseball game I was at, Brad, where we've had this many loaded bases.
3 times in this game. There's a ball up high. Full count. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fouled away by Hewitt. Made contact to stay alive.
Now we're talking about a high-pressure situation for both players, pitcher and batter, Brad. Hewitt wants to try and generate a couple runs here. Johnson, at no cost, can put up a walk.
Hit foul by Hewitt down the third baseline this time.
Frazier at the mound to talk to Johnson. That's what you always like to see, is a healthy relationship between pitcher and catcher. Trying to work together here to get this last out they need to get out of the inning. For Hewitt, he's doing a great job, Brad, of staying in the batter's box here with a couple of foul balls.
Full count to Max Hewitt. Bases loaded, 2 away. Bottom of 6. Giants trail 5-0. Another one hit foul down the third base line. 7 pitches in this at-bat. And Hewitt's done a great job of keeping it alive.
The Giants players on base, they're leading off like crazy here, Brad. So you figure even just a solid single would generate 2 easy. Something out into the field, you might just end up with 3 RBIs.
A fourth straight batter put on base, courtesy of a walk or hit by pitch. And the Giants score a run. Bases still loaded as Keegan Marsden, the man who leads the league in home runs with 5, steps in. An opportunity to tie up the game with 1 hit. We've seen a grand slam already in this game. Will we see another here from Keegan Marsden? No pressure.
Honestly, Brad, I think it's just big that the Giants were finally able to get a run batted in, even though it wasn't off of a hit. It still at least gets them on the board, gets them one step closer to maybe erasing some of that lead.
First pitch was a strike, second one in the dirt. That one fouled off down the third base line again. 1-2 count, Marsden in behind. That one fouled off in behind. It's a no-hitter through 6 innings for Ryan Johnson. He's been incredible. Struggling with finding the plate here in the 6th, though. And there's a foul ball ripped, and that'll be out of play. There's a chance the third baseman Mathis could get to it, but it went over the fence, and he couldn't reach.
Now, Brad, I think that's been our problem right there. Sports, such a superstitious game. You don't talk about a no-hitter. We haven't been talking about the no-hitter to try and, jinx the no-hitter.
Well, what we say up here is no bearing on what happens on the field of play. Another ball, great eye by Keegan Marsden, 2-2 counts. 2 away, bases loaded, Giants trail 5-1. And there's a base hit, that'll land in shallow left. 2 are going to come home, a race to the plate for Hector Benitez, he is safe! Marsden with a 2 RBI single brings home Hector Benitez and Travis Turner, and into the box stepping the DH Josh Iannetti with runners on first and second. And now a mound visit to Ryan Johnson, who allows his first hit of the game. Oh, look at that. 2 pitches after I say what we say up here has no bearing on the field of play. There's a hit for Keegan Marsden.
I told you, sports, superstitious. Yeah, it happens. For the first hit of the game there for the Giants, Brad, that is about as perfect as you could have wanted it. Basically cut the lead in half right there. You still have players in scoring position.
And it's the kid they call Boomer. Iannetti has a home run this year. Runners on first and second, 2 away, Giants trail 5-3. They're looking to make back-to-back comebacks. Came back from a 5-1 deficit last night, looking to make it from a 5-0 deficit this evening.
One of the expressions that head coach Pat Riley likes to use, Brad, is hitting is contagious. And certainly hope so in this situation. You feel it just took that one to kind of break the ice. And hopefully the Giants bats wake up here.
Two count to Boomer. Fastball just inside for a strike. 2-1 count to Josh Ionetti, 5-3 the score. Another ball, make it a 3-1 count. Giants have runners on first and second, 2 away in the bottom of the 6th.
After pitching beautifully in the first 5 innings, Ryan Johnson really seems to be coming apart here quickly, Brad.
Giants catcher, number 10, Brendan Hallstrom.
The walk to Ionetti, bases loaded as the catcher Brendan Hallstrom comes up to the dish. First pitch to Hallstrom, a fastball inside. Pete Spears just pulled the headset off my ears and whispered to me, why do they keep putting in number 17? This is Pete Spears, a joke as you can get, considering every player for the Giants has 17 on their back.
I think the best part about that is, Brad, he's the one laughing the loudest at the joke.
He usually does. The giggling dolphin. You're a regular listener to the Big Breakfast. Pete's a fairly regular contributor via his laugh. It's a mix between a hyena and a dolphin. That's what I've come to decipher it as. There's a cackle followed by a giggle. 1-2 count to Hallstrom. Off-speed pitch ends the inning. What a pitch by Ryan Johnson. And that strands 3. We'll take a pause, head into the top of the 7th. Giants have made it a game, 5-3.
CJOK.
Today's best country.
93.3 FM.
Fort McMurray. Listen live at country933.com or download the Country 93.3 app.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3 in partnership with Birchwood Auto Body. Our business happens by accident.
At Everything Ceramic, we have what it takes to bring your tile project to life. We stock an amazing selection of glass, stone, and ceramic products and have trained people on hand to help make your choices easier. So when you walk into an Everything Ceramic showroom, you'll discover the right tile, tools, and thinking. Ready to start? Visit Everything Ceramic at select Northland Construction Supplies locations. To find the store nearest you, visit everythingceramic.ca.
That is a great looking body you've got there.
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry. That came out completely wrong. I mean, your car, the bodywork, it looks amazing. What's your secret?
Oh, yeah, right. Birchwood Auto Body.
Birchwood Auto Body is a full-service body shop, including 2 downdraft paint booths. They can look after your insurance claim and offer additional products like box liners, detailing, tires, and rim replacement. Get a free estimate at Birchwood Auto Body. Our business happens by accident. 133 Mackenzie Street.
Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball is a Country 93.3 presentation.
Welcome back to Shell Place. Ryan Dunn out for another inning of work in relief of Tyler Moskaluk, who started this game. And the Giants only down 5-3 now, Ben. They were down 5-0, but a single, 2 or 3 RBI single from Keegan Marzian.
It was the Giants' first hit of the game, Brad, and it was exactly what they needed. Get the offense kick-started a little bit here, get some runs on the board. And after the way that inning ended, you got to wonder if that might have been the last we see of Ryan Johnson tonight. He started off tremendously, but really fell apart in the bottom of the 6th there.
I think so. There's been activity in the bullpen as Ulysses Llewellyn leads off the inning for Weyburn. Go! 2-0 count to him. Game started at just about 6:05. It's now 8:15. Sun still well above the skyline here at Fort McMurray. A beautiful late summer evening on Canada's 150th birthday.
Was a little unsure about the weather earlier, Brad. It was all over the place, but it really is a perfect night to be out at the park here. It's just comfortable to be outside. Like, it's warm, but it's not overbearingly hot.
There's a high pop-up near the first baseline. Under it is Villarreal, and he will make the grab. It was stinking hot this morning during the parade. I was sweating.
I was driving one of the cars, nice and air-conditioned, so I really can't comment on that one.
And then it started getting pretty humid once the parade was done. It rained at about 3 o'clock. That broke the humidity, and since then it's been a nice, comfortable temperature. And there's a hard-hit ball to center. Under it is Benitez. He'll make the out. Putting away Brady Nygaard, the first baseman. 2 up, 2 down for the Giants.
Ryan Dunn has looked really good coming in relief here, Brad, and that's exactly what the Giants need. Gets them out of the innings pretty quickly. Hasn't allowed a run scored yet. I don't think he's allowed a hit either. And that's the big one. The Giants can score as many runs as they want, but if they can't stop Weyburn from scoring some themselves, they'll never come back.
Evan Wadner, the shortstop, takes a first pitch strike. Second pitch in the ground to Widener. That one nailed foul, and a gaggle of ladies having a duck out of the way.
A gaggle.
Yeah, that's the what you call a grouping of women. It's a gaggle.
Never heard that one before.
Yeah, bunch of ravens a murder.
Yeah.
Bunch of ladies is a gaggle.
I learned something new today.
I don't know what they teach you in school in Ontario.
I don't know what they teach you in school in Quebec.
To hate the English and separation.
Sounds pretty extensive.
It's well-rounded education. And there's a strikeout to Evan Widener. 3 up, 3 down. Great work for Ryan Dunn. And we will head into the bottom of the 7th inning. The Giants an opportunity to strike back here, down by 2 runs. Who's up next, Ben?
It is Villarreal.
Ryan Villarreal will lead us off, the first baseman, followed by Corey Conklin, and then Travis Turner.
He's 0 for 2 tonight at the plate, Brad. But as we said, hopefully these hits turn into being contagious and the Giants can get going here.
Nothing like a sing-along during a ball game. I don't know if we're at Fenway or Fort McMurray. Hard to tell some days. And coming in relief for the Weyburn Beavers is Cody Pamperin from Shakopee, Minnesota, 6 foot 205, right-handed throwing senior in Minnesota Crookston University.
Watching him warm up here, looks like he has a little bit of a sidearm delivery.
All right, Giants fans, we want to hear you now. Come on!
Pamperin's appeared in 9 games. He started 1. pitched in 19 innings, allowing 20 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, walking 4, striking out 17, a record of 0-1. He has 1 save, a 1.86 ERA, and a 270 batting average for those he is facing. So good numbers again.
Josh Snyder.
And Josh Snyder taking Ryan Villarreal's spot in the order. First 2 pitches by Pamperin, strikes. The third one a ball, a 1-2 count. Another ball, make it a 1-3 count, or a 2-2 count rather. To Josh Snyder. And there's a strikeout. Snyder caught looking.
Second baseman, number 7, Corey Conklin.
In step, Corey Conklin. First pitch to him, a ball inside, 1-0 count, 1 away. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Giants trail this game 5-3. They've been out hit 10-1. It took 6 innings to get a hit on Ryan Johnson. And after that, he got the yank. Tight rope.
Well, late in the game for a starting pitcher, Brad, and, you know, I've mentioned it a couple times after starting the game very strong. He just fell completely apart in that 6th inning. So you have to do what's best for the club. He gave you 6 fairly solid innings. Your team's in the lead.
5 impeccable innings and 1 shaky one.
Yep.
A 1-2 count to Corey Conklin. One away, bottom of 7, and Conklin goes down swinging. Hard cut at a fastball.
Right fielder, 24, Travis Turner.
In steps Travis Turner, the right fielder. First pitch ball to him, 1-0 count. There's a crying baby in the crowd, Ben. You should go soothe it.
I think I'm needed up here, aren't I?
A foul ball that again goes off the lip here at Shell Place.
I'll be honest with you, Brad, I don't have a whole lot of maternal instincts. I don't know if I'm the one that you would send to soothe the baby.
1-1 count, make it 1-2. Another hard cut there by Travis Turner. Fanned on.
First time I held a baby, my buddy told me, you know, you just hold it like a football. Little did he know I have a fumbling problem.
2-2 count to Travis Turner. Not even going to acknowledge that bad joke. Pete Spears just stole my seat, and now he's ordering a pizza from Pizza 73. I don't know what dimension I'm living in, but it's one I don't like very much.
I'm enjoying it.
Full count to Turner, and he grounds one to first. It's scooped up by Nygaard, and he'll make the putout to end the inning. Through 7 full innings of work, Weyburn leads 5-3. Take a pause, return with the 8th just after this.
Northland Construction Supplies Fort McMurray Giants Baseball is a Country 93.3 presentation.
In your line of business, every minute counts. Downtime on your network means losing out on a client or valuable revenue. Keep your company running at peak performance without interruption. McMurray Computer and Telecom has a variety of preventable maintenance programs for your computer, network, and business phone systems. And have peace of mind in the event of a failure. McMurray's backup and disaster recovery programs are designed to get you back up and running. Call McMurray today, 780-790-6666.
For nearly 20 years, Northland Construction Supplies has been Fort McMurray's source for everything concrete. They have the products, the tools, and the expertise to guide you through any of your concrete repair or construction projects. A trusted resource for contractors and DIYers all across Alberta, go where the experts go, to Northland Construction Supplies. Come and visit our store at McAlpine Crescent or find us on the web at everythingconcrete.ca.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3. Live from Shell Place in the Willys Tire broadcast booth.
Welcome back to Shell Place. Ryan Dunn out for another inning of work here in the top of the 8th, and the Giants trail by a score of 5-3.
Dunn's looked very good coming in relief here, Brad, which is exactly what you want from your relief pitching. He's had two very, very clean, strong innings.
First time I've seen the local boy in action here at Shell Place. He hasn't pitched a whole lot for the Giants this year, just 6 innings coming into this game. He's a very good pitcher. He started the first game in Fort McMurray and picked up the first win for the Giants in their first ever game here in Fort McMurray following evacuation. And that was a great night to be home, that's for sure. Giants out hit 10-1 in this game so far. And Dunn has a 1-1 count going against the center fielder Anthony Wiggins. Make it a 2-1 count.
Get in there.
2-2, a good off-speed pitch on the outside portion of the plate. A grounder hit to Villarreal at first. A scoop and backhand toss over to Dunn is in time, and he's out. Excuse me, that's Josh Snyder who's come in for Ryan Villarreal in this game at first base. And we're back to Flores, the man who hit the grand slam in this game. That came in the 5th inning. Deep left field. Put his Weyburn Beavers up by a 5-0 score. It's now 5-3 with one away here in the top of 8.
And swing.
2-0 count to him. A grounder hit to Hewitt at short. The run, Scroop, and Chuck is in time, and that's 2 up, 2 down.
17, Zach Fraser.
That's just a real easy play for Hewitt there. Ball wasn't giving him any trouble. Gets it over to first with plenty of time. And another great defensive play by Hewitt there.
A grounder hit to the gap between second and first, and scooping it up is Travis Turner in shallow right. So on base with the single is Carlos Flores. Excuse me, that was Zach Frazier, the catcher. In steps Wade Weidenberg. Runner on first. We have two away here in the top of the eighth. Flores was the second man put out in this inning, along with Anthony Wiggins, who led off. There's a well-hit ball to right field. That one will land fair, and it's a home run. Another home run for the Weyburn Beavers. This one off the bat of Wade Weidenberger. And Weyburn will grab a 7-3 lead. A looping line drive had just enough to get over the about 6.5 foot right field wall.
It was a weird angle for us where we are, Brad, because that one couldn't tell if it was going to stay fair or foul. Didn't really have a good judging on the distance there, but that was well over the wall. And just like that, Weyburn pads their lead by quite a bit.
And there's another hit, this one just over the head of Ryan Dunn off the bat of the leadoff man, Luis Jimenez. And Ryan Dunn is having a rough back third of this inning. There is activity in the Giants bullpen. Couldn't tell you who it is because they all have the same number on their back. 17.
36, Zach Mathis.
Mathis with a nice shot to shallow right. Turner's under it. He'll make the grab to end the inning. Top half of the inning.
Weyburn Beavers with no runs, or 2 runs.
2 scored by Weyburn in that half.
Giants errors and players left aboard. The Fort McMurray Giants would like to thank.
And we'll head into the bottom of the 8th.
13 hits in total for tonight for Weyburn, Brad. Only 7 runs scored. Fort McMurray probably should be feeling lucky it's not more than that at this point. They had a big comeback victory last night, the Giants did, but you just got to feel like they might not have enough left in the tank for tonight.
Team trainer Jessica Sharp.
Cody Pamperin comes out for another inning of work for the Beavers.
Sponsor Brock Canada.
13 hits, as you mentioned, for Weyburn in this game, and they've come in bunches, and that's one thing this team has done well this year. The Giants, when they have had hits this season, many times it's been sporadic. They'll get one here, a couple outs, another, and then it's the end of the inning. But Weyburn's done a good job of stringing them together, getting runners on base. They've had bases loaded three times in this game. We convert on the grand slam just a singular time, but makes it easy. You know, when you load the bases, you get runners on. It puts the defense on their toes. It puts pressure on the defense to make plays. And then even just a simple play can turn into a bit of a catastrophe for the defensive side of the ball.
Sitting with 7 runs, the Beavers definitely in the driver's seat, Brad, but this has not really been a hitter's game. It's really come down to pitching for both teams.
Hector Benitez leads off the Giants in this inning. He is the leadoff batter in the lineup. Pamperin, a bit of a sidearm pitcher. A 1-1 count to Benitez.
Yeah, he's got an interesting delivery with the pitch, Brad. Starting off, it looks like he's going overhand and then really snaps it around into a sidearm throw.
And the change in delivery really messes with the timing as a batter. It changes the release point of the ball, how it looks when it's coming to, instead of it coming up and down. Now it's coming at you kind of from the side and then up a little bit. And it changes the way the ball comes off the bat.
It's a nice weapon to have as a relief pitcher.
Especially after facing 6 straight innings of high-powered heat from Ryan Johnson. It'll take most hitters a couple of pitches to adjust, and then by then, hopefully, if you're Weyburn, they're behind the count. And Benitez goes down swinging on 5 pitches. Next is Jordan Stickler. He's playing left field tonight, had a good game in left. He's a guy that you can see, he's got a little pop in his bat, but he just, in the last couple of games, hasn't really been able to find his way onto the base path. Although, there hasn't really been a Giant that has done that tonight. And Stickler gets hit by the pitch there. He started making his way over to first. He says he got hit, threw off the elbow pad, chucked his bat halfway across the field, and the ump calls him back. That's a little embarrassing.
That's pretty funny, Brett, because I was going to point out with how much Stickler crowds the plate combined with the sidearm delivery of a right-handed pitcher here, that you got to wonder if he's going to get hit by a pitch.
2-0 count to Jordan Stickler. You know what they say, fake it till you make it, right?
Nope.
2-1 count to Stickler, 1 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. And there's the walk issue to Stickler. He does take first base anyways.
Shortstop, number 2, Max Hewitt.
And in comes Max Hewitt, so it's a lefty against the right arm, sidearm pitcher.
It's been a tough night for Hewitt so far, Brad. He's been retired twice, had 1 walk in the bottom of the 6th. But the bat's been pretty quiet for him tonight.
First pitch, a ball outside. Another ball, a little meeting between Zach Frazier, the catcher, and Cody Pamperin, the pitcher. Of course, Jordan Stickler is on first. It's Max Hewitt in the batter's box, a 3-0 count to him. And Hewitt's issued the walk.
Third baseman, number 19, Keegan Marsden.
again, Giants able to get runners on base, Brad, but without the hits, they still only have one hit in the game.
Keegan Marsden is next at bat. Here's a visit from the Weyburn Giants manager to the mound. I don't think we're going to see a pitching change just yet. More of a pep talk. A little strategy chat, perhaps. Marsden, of course, leads the WMBL in home runs.
And I think that's where the manager needs to come in, Brad. You've got a very powerful hitter coming in with two men on base. If he were to get, even one or two of them to come in home, that chips away at that lead. The game is not over yet.
Take a quick glance at the out-of-town scoreboard. A doubleheader in Lethbridge. The Bulls won the first game 12-11 over Yorkton. They now lead 8-0 in the second game in the bottom of the third inning. Okotoks and Swift Current scoreless in the bottom of the first. Moose Jaw has a 4-3 lead over Edmonton in the top of the sixth. Regina and Medicine Hat scoreless in the top of the fourth. And Brooks beat Melville by a 4-1 score. One count to Keegan Marsden. Runners on first and second, one away. Marsden with a high hit ball to shallow left, and that is picked up by the third baseman, and Marsden's put away, and he's retired. 2 away as Josh Ianetti comes in. Fastball for a ball. Start the at-bat for Boomer. Ianetti with a single. That'll land in shallow left. And the stoplights given to Jordan Stickler as he came around to third. Probably could have made it. The throw from left field from Weinberger was a couple feet off the plates, but not wanting to risk it as Brendan Hallstrom comes in.
Yeah, it's a tough spot, Brad. You don't know that that's going to be a wild pitch. If the pitch was on target, I don't think Stickler quite would have had the speed to get in there. On the flip side of things, you're down by 4 runs late in the game. Maybe now is the time to risk it. So, second time, though, the Giants have the bases loaded. Last time they were able to drive in 2 runs.
Now we have a pitching change as Brendan Hallstrom comes up to bat. And that is Lane Fazendi from Piscayune, Mississippi. He's a 6'1", 200-pound right-handed throwing senior out of the University, William Carey University. And he's appeared in 1 game, pitching just a single inning so far this year. No hits, 2 strikeouts, an ERA of 0. Not much to work off of when it comes to this kid statistically, so we'll just have to see how he throws, and he's throwing some heat in his warm-up pitches. And we'll see if Ryan Dunn comes out to finish off this game in the 9th. There is some activity in the Giants bullpen, but he's been pretty good so far tonight, and he didn't look out of sorts in the top half of the 8th. 2-run shot. Other than that, he was Just day one.
He's been very, very good since he came in relief, Brad. You mentioned did allow 2 runs in the top of the 8th there, but aside from that, he's been exactly what you want out of a relief pitcher. So I'd be a little surprised if they took him out just on the way he's played.
If you're looking for something to do after the ball game tonight or later on this evening, head over to the Country 93.3 97.9 Rock Main Stage near the Miskinaw Golf Club. I will be hosting that tonight along with Mike Jones. Amy Heff is on at about 8:30. Then it's the Veins at 9. The Sissy Fits take the stage at 10. And then it's Craig Moritz at 11. First throw from Fazendi is a ball that bounces off the catcher, rolls away a little bit, but not far enough for anyone to come home. Of course, the bases are loaded for the Giants. And it is Brendan Hallstrom, the catcher, at the plate. And the fans not liking that strike call. Thought it should be 3-0.
Well, they just had to change the scoreboard there, Brad. Everybody thought that one was a ball.
2-1 count to Hallstrom. Bases loaded, 2 away, bottom of 8th. Hallstrom takes a hard rip at one, and that one just dies right at home plate. Two count to Brendan Hallstrom, the catcher. Another one in the dirt. 3-2 count to Hallstrom.
This is exactly how the Giants generated their first run of the game, Brad. They had the bases loaded, and eventually the player at bat was walked, and that's how they got their first run.
And a ball inside, that'll walk a run home. So Hallstrom takes first.
Now the play, number 34, first baseman, Josh Snyder.
And in comes Josh Snyder. And we're getting a running substitution for Ionetti on second. That looks like Trevor Bauer. Nope. Joey Nicastro. Pinch running for Ionetti. So bases loaded, 2 away. Giants trail 7-4. Strike outside to Snyder. Fastball. An 0-1 count for Fazendi, the third pitcher of this game for Weyburn. There's one in the dirt.
He's really having trouble with his control right now, Brad.
Snyder grounds one. That one too short, picked up by Widener. The throw to first is in time, and that'll end the inning. A great scoop by the first baseman, Brady Nygaard. He did the splits to save that one. And we'll head into the top of the ninth with the Giants trailing by a 7-4 score.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3 in partnership with Birchwood Auto Body. Our business happens by accident.
It doesn't feel like summer until you take your vehicle out on the open road. Get your car ready. Willie's Tire and Auto Center now offers commercial vehicle inspections and out-of-province inspections. Plus, they can do your coolant flushes, air conditioning, pressure tests, and recharges. So you're ready for those long summer road trips. Call 780-791-1989 to book your appointment. Willie's Tire and Auto Center, where epic service makes the difference.
At Everything Ceramic, we have what it takes to bring your tile project to life. We stock an amazing selection of glass, stone, and ceramic products and have trained people on hand to help make your choices easier. So when you walk into an Everything Ceramic showroom, you'll discover the right tile, tools, and thinking. Ready to start? Visit Everything Ceramic at select Northland Construction Supplies locations. To find the store nearest you, visit everythingceramic.ca.
Northland Construction Supplies Fort McMurray Giants Baseball is a Country 93.3 presentation.
Welcome back to Shell Place, and Ryan Dunn will not get the opportunity to close off this game. Instead, it will go to quasi-local boy. He may as well be from here. He's from Bonnyville, Nick Cardinal. And Cardinal this season has appeared in 7 games, pitching 10 innings, allowing 9 hits, 9 runs, 2 of them earned, 8 walks, 11 strikeouts, an 0-1 record, a 1.74 ERA. And he'll look to try and keep the Beavers at bay as he hopes to keep this deficit to just 3. What would maybe be a manageable one for the Giants. Try and come back in the 9th.
The Giants have had their opportunities, Brad, just haven't really found a way to consistently get players on base. Still only sitting at 2 hits in the game. But 3 runs is definitely doable to close out this 9th inning.
(13-2) the hits in favor of Weyburn in this game. Snyder staying on first. It's the only defensive change in this game so far.
Number 34, Ulysses Llewellyn.
And we start off with Ulysses Llewellyn, the number 3 batter. So we're right into the meat of the lineup for the Beavers. Llewellyn will be followed by cleanup batter Brady Nygaard and Evan Widener.
Keep those tickets. They're still counting in the office right now.
Llewellyn, a hard foul, allowed one down the right field line. That one lands in the softball center just next door.
Give it to him, Nick!
Cardinals, many fans here. 0-1 count to Llewellyn. Second pitch, a ball inside.
Come on, up, same strike zone, please.
God bless baseball. And a base hit by Llewellyn escapes a diving Corey Conklin and lands in shallow center where it's picked up by Hector Benitez.
Yeah, that was, I mean, he was close to getting that catch. I just don't know if he would have had the time to turn around and get it to first base before the base runner got there.
So Llewellyn's on first. Here is the cleanup batter, Brady Nygaard.
Nagar's 2 of 4 tonight. RBI single and a double. He's been pretty consistent. It's the one unifying theme, Brad, between every sport. Everyone hates the referee or umpire.
A grounder gets past Marsden and into shallow left where it's scooped by Stickler. So runners on first and second. Not a great start for Nick Cardinal. Not his fault. His defenders are getting the balls. They just can't hold on to them. And now we have Evan Widener, the shortstop, batting the 5-hole. With runners on first and second, none away, we're here in the top of the ninth. Giants trail this game 7-4. 15-2, the hits in favor of the Weyburn Beavers. The only error on the board credited to the Giants, and surprisingly so, to Max Hewitt in the second inning. There's a looper scooped up by Hewitt, tossed to second. The double play is good. 6-4-3 double play. Hewitt, Conklin, Snyder, and that retires two as Llewellyn does move ahead to third, but there were two out now as Anthony Wiggins comes to bat.
That's exactly the defensive play the Giants needed right there, Brad. You had two runners on base. You had no outs. They come away now with two outs, and yeah, there is a player on third, but very manageable to get out of this inning.
Flores, or excuse me, Wiggins turns inside. Thought that one was coming straight for him. Was a curveball. Did you play ball growing up, Ben?
I did not.
I remember I played Little League, so I played a little bit of rep ball, and I remember the first time when we got to Bantam and kids started throwing curveballs, and our coach in practice said, okay, you guys are old enough now. Curveballs, you're going to start seeing curveballs. And the first time he threw a curveball at me, I ducked like he was going to hit me, and it curved right back into the strike zone. I've never been so embarrassed in my life. But until you see it and you stand there in the batter's box,
oh, yeah,
you don't understand how much that ball moves. But yeah, I'm a chicken. 2-1 counts to Anthony Wiggins. Go, 3-1 the counts. Cardinal having a bit of a tough time fighting the strike zone. There's a ball fouled off down the left field line. That'll make the count full. One strike will do it. And then the Giants have an opportunity to try and mount a comeback. Of course, there's a runner in scoring position. Ulysses Llewellyn is on third base, just 90 feet away from home plate.
I think we can both agree that's the best name on any roster tonight. Ulysses Llewellyn.
That's not bad. And there's a ball hit to a diving Max Hewitt, who makes the out. A little atonement for his error in the second inning. A great diving stab by Max Hewitt ends the top of the ninth.
It's time for the 50-50 draw tonight.
And we move into the bottom of the ninth. The Giants down 7-4.
Yeah, that was vintage Max Hewitt right there, Brad.
50-50 ticket number 0, 7, 5. 5, 9, 8, 075598. Make your way to the 50-50 table. You're buying the beers, $2,385. Thank you for supporting the Giants.
Well, looks like a young lady's picked up just over $2,000 in 50-50 prize winnings. I was about 100 numbers off. I've bought 50-50 tickets at 85% of the sporting events that I've gone to. Pretty much every one that I've called, and I've called several hundred at this point in my career. Never won. Not once. And the worst part is, whenever it's a home game, let's say the Oil Barons were at home, and the visiting play-by-play guy bought 50-50 tickets, they win like 3 times a year. It's insane.
I was at a OHL game back in Ontario, and the guy that won the 50-50 tickets, he was sitting 3-4 seats beside me, realizes he wins, gets up and woohoo! And the lady sitting behind us yells down, "You did not just win again."
Some people have all the luck.
Giants fans, it's time to put on those rally caps. Here we go. Second baseman, number 7, Corey Conklin.
Corey Conklin is leading us off in the bottom of the ninth. Conklin will be followed by Travis Turner. And back to the top of the order with Hector Benitez. The first pitch, way off the mark. That's a ball, 1-0 count. Hard swing by Conklin, fanned on. The Giants have their rally caps on. And there's a line drive to shortstop put out by Widener. 1 up, 1 down. As the Giants rally now lands on the shoulders of Travis Turner.
Mentioned at the start of the game, Brad, Weyburn was coming in on a 4-game skid, and it's always tough to play teams in that position. Hungry for a win. You know at some point they're going to break the streak. And it looks like tonight just might be that night for the Beavers.
A grounder to third, scooped by Mathis, tossed over to first in time, and that's 2 up, 2 down. And now Hector Benitez is the last chance for the Giants.
If there was a guy who was going to come up to plate to keep this game alive, I would want it to be Hector Benitez. Just the way he approaches pitches.
First pitch to Benitez, a ball, low and away.
Hit the ball!
That's just some great coaching right there.
It's like when fans yell shoot in a hockey game.
Hit the ball. Never would have thought of that.
An NHL game, they're yelling shoot. You're paying to watch them play the game, not the other way around.
Even better than that is any UFC fight. Hit them. You don't say.
Nah. 1-1 to Benitez, make it 2 on another off-speed pitch outside. Benitez with a loud foul, far left. Benitez strikes out. That'll end the game. He gets caught looking, and the Weyburn Beavers take it by a score of 7-4 on Canada Day. These two teams will meet again tomorrow afternoon at 2:05. We'll take a quick pause. Roll in your post-game show right after this.
CJOK FM, Fort McMurray.
93.3 FM. Listen live at country933.com or download the Country 93.3 app.
You're listening to Northland Construction Supplies, Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on Country 93.3. Live from Shell Place in the Willys Tire broadcast booth.
For nearly 20 years, Northland Construction Supplies has been Fort McMurray's source for everything concrete. They have the products, the tools, and the expertise to guide you through any of your concrete repair or construction projects. A trusted resource for contractors and DIYers all across Alberta, go where the experts go, to Northland Construction Supplies. Come and visit our store at McAlpine Crescent or find us on the web at